Yeah, yeah. We back. Glorious Monday, 14th of March, 2022.
What's poppin'?
What's going on? Jacob, you the first one in here. What's up? Yeah.
Let's get into this.
Let's let the team in. Home team, y'all ready? What is in progress for those that's not in the know? What up with you?
Had a legendary show last week. Shout out to Rachel.
A lot of great feedback from that.
A lot of good feedback for her for sure. So
yeah.
Shout out to Rachel.
Our parents watched that one with pride. My dad said we got to invest in it. I said, all right, let's do it. Shout out to Rachel.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, always legendary moments created, curated at Market Monday. So, we got to follow it up with another legendary situation.
Let's run it back.
Nothing else to do but that. Let's let Ian in here and let's get to it. Shout out to everybody out there that has been surviving the stock market crash. I know it's tough times right now, but hold your head. You will get through it. What's going on?
Y'all going for an Emmy. Pulitzer Prize winner. We're going to talk about it, but we're going to
that's what they say in the pre-screening buzz is saying some type of award is coming.
Pulitzer, Emmy,
both.
Yeah.
NAACP, Image Interview Award. Yeah, everything.
Yes. Very necessary, very needed. Welcome to Market Mondays, ladies and gentlemen. Ian, welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
How was your LA run?
It was good.
Okay.
It was good. I can't say nothing. You got me on a gag order, so I can't feel nothing yet. I'll be wanting to spill the beans as soon as it happens, but I got to wait 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, it looked like there's a nice situation going on out there, man. I'm happy you made it back safe to the H-Town.
Shout out to Cali, man. Always a vibe. All right. Well, today's going to be a gym-packed session.
Gym or gym?
Gym. A lot to talk about. Of course, a lot has happened in the stock market.
Yeah.
A lot continues to happen in the world. And there's a lot to go over. So before we start, we'll just go over some quick announcements. First and foremost, shout out to the Breakfast Club. Shout out to 19 Keys.
Yeah.
If you haven't gotten a chance, make sure you check that episode out. We was on with 19 Keys a few days ago. And really, really dope conversation. I enjoyed it myself. So check it out. We talked about world politics, NFTs, crypto, metaverse, a very different conversation than the usual finance conversation. So definitely a good moment for us. Shout out to 19 Keys. His show debuts on the 19th at 4:44 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
All right, that's a good remark.
Yes. 4:44. Very intentionally 111 111 Pacific Standard Time.
Yes, 111 Pacific Standard Time and 4:44 Eastern Standard Time. 19 Keys. And
very specific about that.
I was Keys yesterday. Keys brilliant.
Brilliant. Shout out to Keys, man. So that was dope. And like I said, check out the Breakfast Club interview if you get a chance. Definitely a very educational vibe. This week, big week for us. Big week for us. First and foremost,
big.
Shout out to Ally. Shout out to United Masters. We will be at South by Southwest. This is your last chance to really RSVP if you're interested. Of course, Ian Dunlap and Wall Street Trap will be on stage together for the first time ever. We'll be talking to Buster and John Henry about NFTs, crypto, Web.3.0. 3.0. Bun B, the legend himself, DJ Michael Watts. If you're not from Texas, you might not fully appreciate that, but Michael Watts is a legend. Screwed up click.
Sharp and screw.
What Paul Wall say? He said, well, Michael Watts, I hit the drop. Michael Watts took me to the lot and brought the drop. I'm in T Faz acting bad with T Ferris.
Down on flag.
that was my joint back in the day, man. Shout out to Paul Wall. But yeah, DJ Michael Watts will be DJing. And of course, the legendary Toby Wigway will be performing. Headline performance. It's gonna be a vibe. Austin, Texas. The buzz on the street is that we have the most lit activation That's the buzz. That's what they're saying.
I heard Bum might be step on stage as well.
Oh, Bun B is definitely gonna step on stage.
He's gonna be on stage.
He's performing. Yeah, of course. Definitely. Underground Kings. That's a fact. So yeah, go to our website, RSVP for that. This is a big week. Tomorrow.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Big one.
Come on.
About that. Can we talk
Red
about that?
Panda, watch it twice. I don't mean to cut you off. Watch it twice. I want notes. If you don't watch it, shout out Chad 85. I know that's your big mentor. I'm telling y'all, listen, this is the one. Y'all may get podcast episode of the year for this one.
I appreciate that.
Man. I
appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. Tomorrow, Steve Harvey, the legend himself. Steve Harvey doesn't really speak publicly. He said he's only done 2 podcasts in his life, our show and Kevin Hart's show.
Yeah.
And he's like, most of his interviews like more short, like, late night, the late night show, or like Ellen. It was like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. He doesn't really speak a lot publicly in long formats like this. Longest interview that we've ever done in EYL history.
Yep.
Longest interview in EYL history.
How long is it?
Like
2 hours and
20
minutes.
Yeah, 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
how did I miss it? What was I doing?
Yeah. Hey man,
making pineapple juice and ranting. I should have been there. Great job.
we always talk about patience, right? We always talk about patience in the market, but patience in this space is vital too. We were supposed to sit down with Steve for over a year, and like I said, with any person, man, nothing happens before it's time, and the timing of this interview couldn't have been at a better point of what we're trying to do and what we're trying to build. And I can't wait for y'all to watch it. It's just one of those, when we finished it, I was like, damn, we really
when you called me and I heard the excitement in your voice, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
y'all made Blueprint 1. Yeah.
It's one of the ones, man. When you got one, like, it was like you felt good about it. Like, we got one, man. He had a lot to get off his chest. Spoke about so much stuff, man. Highs, lows, ups and downs, learning experiences. It's very, a little bit of everything, right? Very transparent, educational. You can learn a lot. So,
and you're gonna laugh.
Oh, of course.
You're gonna laugh too.
King of comedy.
It's filled with everything, man. And it's compacted to 2 hours. If we kept recording, it would have been a 5-hour interview. But we just decided, let's just soak in some of these gems and we'll give it to the people when it's time.
Tomorrow, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time.
Documentary.
Yes, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. Check it out on our YouTube channel. Check it out on all podcast outlets. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm telling you, man. This is one of the ones, man. This is one of those ones. Can we talk about Houston?
Let's do it. It's ours.
You ready? You ready for that? Huh?
I've been ready. 19 weeks ago. Let's go.
Yes. So let me make sure I get this right, because I want to make sure. First of all, let's get it right. During the height of the new what was that? Omicron. It was back and forth, but we felt like it was a responsible thing to do to just put it on hold for a little bit. Houston Market Mondays Live, Houston. The last Market Mondays that we did live was at the legendary Apollo Theater on Black Friday. Mm-hmm. That proceeded to shut down the internet and cause a world frenzy. Sold out very quickly. We had Dipset perform. We had Styles P perform. Fat Man Scoop came out. Mm-hmm. DJ Sus won. MG the Mortgage Guy came out. Cash giveaways. It was just a vibe. Like, it's just, I can't really I can't do it justice by just, describing it in words. It was a vibe. It was a vibe. Yeah. So, fair to say. It's only right that we do, follow up one of our biggest markets. Houston, Texas always showed us so much love. We haven't done an event in Houston, Texas in years. 4/23.
Yep.
April 23rd. We are coming to Houston, Texas. I'm going to put the link in the chat. The link is also on the website. Now, with your ticket, you will get a few perks. 1 year access to Stock Club.
Talk to him.
Weekly call with Ian and Stock Club members. 1 year access to Sniper Trading Program. And 1 60-minute Q&A Zoom session with Ian on stocks, investing, trading, and how a Red Panda student made between 50 to 130K trading. That is included in your ticket for Market Mondays, Houston.
It's a home and home.
This, yes, I'm telling you right now.
Gonna sell out 3 days.
And that's, mind you, we haven't even announced anybody else that might come. You know, we got a lot of friends and different things of that nature. So you saw what happened in New York City. Do not play yourself. You have visual experience to actually see what happened. This will be bigger. This will be even bigger. So yes, Market Mondays tour is back. Put the link. I put the link in the vibe. It's gonna be a good day.
Hey, Jada, Yay Ali. Reply to the
text. So there you have it, gentlemen. For the culture.
That's what they say. Until we never see.
And this is one of these shows. If you've never seen a live show, it's a vibe. Like people ask, like, what's the difference between Market Mondays on YouTube and watching it in live? It's a vibe that really can't be explained, but you also get to network with thousands. It's going to be, I think the venue holds 2,500 people.
Yeah.
So imagine networking with 2,500 like-minded people that, you know what I'm saying, coming from all over from the South, from Texas, from America, from overseas. Like, this is something that, you know, that alone is probably worth it. But then, of course, the energy, and then there's some gems. Like, I spoke about some stuff that I've never spoken about. Troy broke down the option situation. He never really spoke about that publicly. And Ian
Billboard. Hold on, Shotty. Give my man his moment. Billboard. I hate y'all missed that.
Yeah. And Ian actually had, I believe it was like 30 or 40 minute solo vibe.
Went for it.
Which is a very rare moment.
Giving away money.
Yeah.
That also happened.
And he gave away thousands of dollars.
Hundreds. We're not gonna do that.
So
the duffel bag got bigger.
Market Mondays. MarketMondays.com. Go to MarketMondays.com. Get your ticket. Houston, Texas. This will be an event like none other. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
What else should we say?
All right. Disclaimer.
Yeah. Shout out to our Red Panda family. Shout out to the earners. And shout out to our family at United Masters and the Ally crew. Earners. So we want to let y'all know about something, right? A great choice if you're looking to bank or invest. Ally is a leading digital financial service company with passionate customer service, innovative financial solutions, and are relentlessly focused on doing it right for both customers and communities. So get with Ally so that you can save, invest, and spend on the things that matter most to you. For everything we need, we're all better off with an Ally. Shout out to them. We will be in the building again this Thursday. Make sure y'all there. Yeah, somebody erased my disclaimer. So we'll just say it real freestyle. So you know how this works. Do your own research. Our content should be used and must be used for informational purposes only. Any research that you see and hear on our show, you must consult with your financial advisor or somebody in the financial industry for the purpose of personal use or otherwise. Please do your own research, y'all. I know that y'all doing it. Every time we see y'all, somebody's showing me the research that they did, and they also actually show me what the research actually netted them. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to the earners. Shout out to the Red Panda family. All y'all, man. I love seeing y'all portfolios. It don't matter if we in the club. It don't matter where we at. Somebody's gonna pull up on us and ask about their portfolio. So shout out to y'all for executing on the information. Love is love.
Amazing.
Ian, floor is yours.
We'll have a little special deal for y'all next week too. So for those of you who miss out on these tickets, stay tuned to next week. For those of you who didn't get the free sniper link after the show tonight, I'm going to email it out. It's 100% free. Nothing else to buy. You have access to the sniper program for 60 days. And if you want to, get access to it, go to joinredpanda.com. Let's have an amazing show. I'm ready to get to it. Love y'all, earners, Red Panda family. Houston's going to be amazing. I promise you that. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's grow.
Okay. So let's get right into it. So an options trader who bet against Russia can't cash out on an estimated $370 million earnings. made according to Bloomberg. What are 3 top lessons from this? Let's break this down a little bit if we can.
It's more than one. There's a bunch of people.
It's a combination of people, yeah.
It's a combination of people. So it's interesting. Like we talked about options trading. When you buy or sell an option, when you buy, somebody must sell it. And when you sell it, somebody must want to buy it. And so we got to start with the premise of that so people can really understand it. And so there are a group of people who are watching the economy and watching the ruble in Russia. And they said, all right, if they're going to go to war, obviously anything that's using that currency is going to fall. And so they made puts on it. And those put, obviously, the market fell. Great call. It was a great call. The ruble fell. The market closed, and these people have puts that actually have gained money.
Let me just say something real quick.
Yeah,
false information in the chat. You don't have to be vaccinated to attend the event. So it's a Live Nation event. So they have their own regulations. You either have the vaccination card or a negative COVID test. So if you have a negative COVID test, then you can show the negative COVID test. So once again, that's the venue's protocol. But if you're not vaccinated, you can attend the event, but you just have to have a negative COVID test 48 hours prior.
Fellas, if Rihanna told you that she was going to leave ASAP Rocky for you, but you needed a negative, Photoshop something, make your way there. If I'm going to give this bundle, make your way there.
We're not encouraging that. Yeah, but I was sorry. So the market fell, but the interesting part is that the market actually closed, right? So it's suspended, but it closed. Therefore, anything that had ties to it. So a lot of people put puts on the ruble, and they had ETFs, Russian ETFs. And so if your puts actually netted money and you can't sell them, now what do you do? And so this is accumulated to over $370 million of people saying, well, I made the right call and it netted money and I can't sell it now. So now they're just stuck holding it. The problem is that some of these puts are extended out, right? And we always tell people, like, if you're going to do a put, make sure that it's no further than maybe 6 weeks to maybe 8 weeks, right? So some people have done that. Their contracts are expiring this Friday. Now, what's the chances of the Russian market opening by this Friday? Highly unlikely. And so those people are now left holding the money that they thought they should have received. And so that's like a whole legal thing now.
Even worse.
Yeah.
When they finally open, it's going to limit up like crazy. So,
right.
I know this is probably where most people think, given that it's options, I'm going to come in and rant and scream, but I feel sorry for these traders. It's a dirty game. I'm going to be honest. Like, this is why I tell you, if you've ever seen The Big Short, there was a part in the movie when they was telling Steve Carell's character, you have to sell. Because if you actually short to zero and the company is insolvent or the asset is insolvent, guess what? You won't get any money. Number 2, you have to follow what the whales are doing. So when you guys are looking at your exits, and that's why I'm always, so if the bottom is $2, I want to get out $1 or $2 before, so that there's enough liquidity there for me to actually liquidate the position and take advantage of it. For some of those guys that made that trade, this is a trade of a lifetime that they'll never get paid on. Imagine like hitting a game winner in Game 7 over LeBron, and then the NBA just waves it off like, hey, no, Adam Silver's like, we're not gonna have LeBron lose this year. That's what happened to them. And finally, I'll say, when you're trading markets that are exotic like this, you have to do a great job at monitoring that volume. I saw one trader say he got up to 174% return in like one day. You have to take some of that money out. So 50%, 100%, take some of the profit off and then let the rest run and you're fine. But this has happened before in futures. Like, I knew a guy who lost $523,000 in one night, and the weekend after he ran into expiration, he would have been up $2 million. But all the whales ran against his position into expiration, even though his call was right. So when I tell you guys, you got to play defense against everyone, including the brokers, the whales, the brokerage firms, institutions, everyone. I feel bad for these guys that lost that money.
You know what makes it even more interesting is that not only are they not going to get the money that they would have making the right call, right? I think there was a gentleman who, the profit was 50,000, right? On top of it, he's going to expire worthless. So even the 5,000 that he invested to get the put is now going too.
Yeah.
Right. So on top of them thinking that they were gaining money, they're actually going to lose that and what they invested. So it is a dirty game.
It happened to me. It happened to you too.
Yeah.
GameStop. So
I remember that.
Yeah.
Last year we put a put on GameStop. I forgot the details of it, but we put a put on GameStop when GameStop was running. And when GameStop started to go down, it was up like 1,000%, like 800%, something like that, some crazy number. And put like 5,000 in, and the 5,000 was like 50,000, was 35,000
within an hour.
Like and I tried to sell. Yeah, same day. Within an hour.
It was heated. We was in that group text. Oh, I remember.
We was in the Uber, like trying. I'm like, yo, I need Wi-Fi.
No, I tried to sell it, and it wouldn't sell, and I ended up losing money on that. So it happened to me, firsthand experience. I was up for whatever reason. Not enough liquidity in the market. Nobody wanted to buy it. Blame it on the platform.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I'm still not really sure what happened, but I wasn't able to sell it. None of us was able to sell it. And ended up losing money on it.
Yeah. I think this one is I mean, it's similar in the sense, but like their market is completely closed. So there's no chance, right? Like their market might, I mean, who knows when that market is going to open back up.
It'll open up after all those damn positions are cleared out. And I said this on Rams and Gems, like, shout out to Matt Keon, I appreciate you. Like, I used to have friends in Atlanta that used to do mortgages, and that once they got past 7 closed deals, they would get a crazy bonus. They'll get to deal number 6, and all of a sudden, the pipeline will freeze until the next calendar month. That's why I tell you, like, you guys have to look at every angle of what can go wrong and factor that in. That's why I even tell you with your bank account. Check your bank account 3 times a day. The bank will steal from you. Brokers cut slippage. Shout out to everybody, in Red Panda. How many slippage issues have you had with a particular broker? And then you have to make them go fix something. Then all of a sudden they'll backdate 6 months worth of potential losses and then refund you. Check over those accounts like crazy, because anything can go wrong.
Yeah. Very true. Okay. So what are the chances of a global recession striking this year? Global recession. I spoke to Josh Brown this weekend too. Maybe I'll share some of my conversation that I had with him.
Go ahead, fire away.
Yeah. Well, he made an interesting post. Shout out to Josh. He made an interesting post over the weekend that I found interesting on Instagram, when he was talking about, what exactly did he say again? It was
his thing was like, in times. So the premise of it was, in times of fear or in times of uncertainty, do less.
We don't know how long this thing is going to last.
So let's do less.
So I was asking, I just like to get people's different opinions on different things. So he was pretty much saying, that he said, usually it's a bad sign if we hit bear market or close to bear market territory and we don't bounce back quickly. If it takes a long time to bounce back, then that's usually a sign that it's going to be a prolonged bear market. Mm-hmm. And then, also that we talk about market Mondays all the time, as far as with Russia and inflation and different things of that nature. He did say one interesting thing is that inflation can't keep at the same pace. So at some point, inflation is going to start to, get railed in a little bit, because he was like, it's unsustainable. The inflation rate is unsustainable right now. But he did say, it's one of these things that could potentially be a buying opportunity, but more of a long-term situation, because it could potentially last longer than option contracts have to expire. Mm-hmm. And if you're trying to play that game, you can get caught in the mix. And if it takes, like, let's say 20 months or 18 months to recover, and you got a 12-month option, you just running out of time. You just ran out of time. You don't have enough time. So it was a very interesting conversation, and just, was saying that, it's going to take a while. I think a lot of people got spoiled last time with the quickest recovery in history when the global pandemic first hit. But that's not normal. Usually, it takes longer. A bear market takes longer, and we haven't had a bear market in a very long time. So, it's one of these things where it's an uncomfortable situation. Nobody likes it. He also spoke about how, that's what he said in the Instagram post, in those up days that we've had, like last week, that's not something to really like champion, like this, it's over. No, that's just one day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't get your hopes up. So yeah, A lot of interesting stuff.
He was saying, I mean, obviously, when we talked about correction, we said anywhere between 6 to 20%. The NASDAQ passed that to the point where it's now in bear territory.
No, NASDAQ's been in bear
It's
territory.
been in bear territory. That's what I'm saying. And so, like, that's not also true for the Dow yet. So we still got room.
It's getting close.
It's getting close. I was saying we still got room.
Oh, that's another thing.
Well,
I knew this, but he said it also. There's still a lot more room for it to go down. Even if you look at the NASDAQ is 23% or something like that off of its all-time high, which that would be concerning. That's bear. That's a bear market. What's even more concerning is that it's up 100% from 2 years ago. So granted, that was in the global pandemic and the stock market crashed, but all in all, it's still relatively high. It's just that it went up so high. It went up so high that even it coming down 23% is still extremely high.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot more room for it to go down. That should be extremely concerning to anybody that's holding option contracts.
Yeah. On March 30th, 2020, NASDAQ was at 73.73. 73.73. 7,000.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 373. And so even today, I mean, it's like you said, it's still up 100%.
It's still up 100%.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's not normal for something to go up 100% in 2 years. So you do the math. It's all about math.
Yeah. I think real quick, the important thing, and I know I'm gonna pass this like an alley oop to you, but he said like the key thing he said in that was like, in times of uncertainty, do less. And that's kind of one of those things when you ask, how many trades have you taken this year? And I'm like, probably like 12 for the year. You do less. You do less in strong companies, right? You just find your spots. And shout out to Brian. He hit me up today. He was like, look, QQQ came back to my buying spot. It took me like 7 months, but I got back to it. So do less in these moments, y'all.
Yeah. I want to say a couple of things. I want you guys to realize that everyone is your competition. Hedge funds, family offices, major corporations, other traders. Because if we're seeing the GameStop move, AMC, Doge, NFT, you guys don't think people with more capital and more experience want the same kind of gains in aggregate. That's number one. Number two, the era that you guys need to go study is 2000 through 2002. During that time period, NASDAQ slid down 78% off of its high. We won't fall that far. But this is why I always tell you guys, you have to mark off literally half and build from there. And then also, you need to know where those deep areas are, because if we do, let's say, fall 55% from the high, that's when you need to load the boat if you're going to hold for 5 years. For those of you that are doing time-based trades, whether you're swing trading, doing options, right? Can I just be honest with y'all and put yes in chat if I can? If they're seeing a bunch of retail traders making money and they control the lever, hypothetically, for when these payouts can happen, you don't think that they can throttle? So for any of you that ever play basketball, you know when you went away and you at your championship game, upstate or downstate, the rule was you have to win by 15 or 20. You can't eke by, right? So I told you guys last year, they was going to let everyone make enough money for when this recession comes, and I thought it was going to happen in 24, but it may speed up a little bit before then, to offset any losses, and the money that you need for the next couple of years are going to be rolled into that. I had a conversation with a big brokerage house this past weekend. The NFT market's falling apart. They had a big rollout that they had planned with the NBA. No longer going to do it. Angel investing is getting a little bit tighter. Venture capital, that all that free float money, that's dying. We're seeing the world change rapidly, and people are terrified. They won't say it publicly, but they are terrified. This is where that patience to buy quality is going to matter more than ever. Now, here's the great thing. If you know how to trade to the downside, you should be making more money than ever. For those of you that are being disciplined in your options, and shout out to those of you in Red Panda, you've been shorting the futures market. Man, it's been some of the greatest trades that you can get, but they have to offset the losses that you have in your long-term account. But please be careful. And I told you guys from the very beginning, quantitative easing is probably the most important indicator there is in the market. When the Fed stop printing that money, now we're going to really see which companies are good, and the ones that actually have great net profit are going to rise to the top, and the ones that are not, they're going to fall apart. There are not, and I'm going to be honest. In the entire world, there may be 21 good companies. May, and that's a stretch. Maybe. So no Palantir, no Snow, no good. Zoom, decent company, but too big. Peloton, like the new executives there, but some of these valuations ran up so high, and we got high off our own supply for a bit, and we saw what happened with Kathy. Like, look at Alibaba. Alibaba is close to coming to its all-time low.
Yeah, what we got down in the 90s today, 80s.
Be careful.
Yeah,
be careful.
Yeah,
be careful.
So let's talk about this.
I think this will tie right in.
What?
China.
I wasn't gonna talk about China.
Okay,
we can talk about China.
Yeah.
No, try to go ahead. Euro. Go ahead.
So made up Instagram post about this a few weeks ago, and then spoke about this on Market Mondays when Google announced its stock split. And I made an Instagram post, one of those green screen things, that everybody's doing now, by the way. Sidebar. So
we're gonna be diplomats, right?
Oh man.
You have to talk with me when we was in London.
I'm calling out names.
Yeah, writer. we gotta be diplomats. Come on. We're not doing that.
But it was saying that it could lead to Amazon, a stock split for Amazon. We talked about on Market Mondays, and lo and behold, it's on record. You can see that it was documented on Market Mondays. Lo and behold, last week Amazon announced a 20-1 stock split.
The first thing I did was I think I called you first, and then I called Ian. I'm like, yo, remember this, man? When Bezos stepped down, this was an opportunity. We got a new CEO. This might be a new opportunity for him to say, all right, this is a great chance for us to get more investors inside the company. And lo and behold, the day came.
Yes.
My stock of the year.
So Amazon. All right. So Amazon. So let's talk about, everybody wants to probably know about this situation. Yeah. What does it mean? Does it mean the stock is going to go up? Every time a stock splits, it's the same conversation. So Amazon, and it was interesting because when Google split, it was left. Amazon was the last big tech company to have a 4-digit stock price. Mm-hmm. And, it was rumors that, that could be the next stock to split. And they didn't even waste too much time. They a couple of weeks later, they announced that their stock split. So what does this mean for Amazon?
It means exactly what we thought with the other ones, right? Like when I look at Amazon stock, if a retail investor looks at Amazon stock and they see it at 3,200, it's not as appealing, right? That feels like I can't afford it. I'm going to have to get a fractional share. With the split 20-1, which is a pretty large split, now you're looking at maybe $130 a share, and more enticing for a retail investor to get involved. It also is important if you go back to the Josh Brown episode, last time he was on Market Mondays, he talked about why these companies break down and split and get to these numbers in the hundreds, right? So they could be included in the Dow Jones. It was an excellent explanation. If you haven't seen it, go check that out. But that also is a factor in it as well. But I just want to make sure that everybody's clear that nothing changes fundamentally inside the company. It's just the prices change, right? And so I always explain it as if somebody had a $5 bill or 5 singles, do you still have $5? Essentially, you do, right? It's just in a different form. And so when you look at a stock go from 3,000 down to 100 or 200, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just that now more retail investors can now pile into the stock. They also bought back $10 billion. What was it? 10 billion worth of stock?
Yeah.
So like these type of move, when you start seeing things like this happen, and it was like, yo, this is why I was saying this. I didn't even take this into account when I was saying that, yo, Amazon's gonna be my stock of the year. I was looking at all the fundamental things, but like this is one of those things. Obviously, the market is in a downtrend right now. The NASDAQ is in a downtrend, but long term, this is why I'm like, all right, gotta get Amazon. On top of being the number one e-commerce, is going to be the number one shipping company, passing UPS and FedEx in this year. There's just so many things that I feel like Amazon is just like going to be this incredible company that it already is, and it's going to keep building upon it.
Yeah, for the last 15 months, every week somebody in Stock Club was like, man, why do you keep Amazon as a retirement pick? I'm like, just wait. Put yes in chat. Some of y'all be killing me. Man, are you sure? I'm like, give it time. Bezos, for those of you who don't know, he came from the hedge fund industry. So there's a calculated reason why he didn't want it to split. But with the new executive, it gives him a great advantage. Like you said, it goes into the Dow Jones. And then, of course, it's one of the, like it's in my top 10 businesses as well. So like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Saudi Aramco, Amazon, they're in that list of companies that if I have to like put my life on the line, I would invest money with them. So continue to hold them for the long term. They'll be great. And then Mimi, I see your question. We'll talk about Moderna tonight on the Stock Club call. But yeah, Amazon, it's going to be great for another 10 or 15 years easily. Hold on to it.
When is the stock split?
Did they give a date?
I don't know the date off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'll get it.
So the question is going to be,
when should I buy?
Buy it after. We're going to give a clean answer. Mike, clip this up. If you haven't bought it yet and you can't afford it in the 2000s, wait till after and then put it in one of your core holdings. That's been like our little secret in Stock Club. It's been in the retirement picks forever. Amazon's one of the ones. Red Panda, please put Red Panda in chat so they can see that I'm not lying or capping, even though this crystal ball is glowing bright in the background. Listen, if we all called unanimously,
I mean, yeah, Amazon can't go wrong with Amazon. Good move to split its stock. I feel like that's only going to, drive a lot more retail money into it, and just by the law of numbers, right? It's like a stock is $2,000 on $3,000, like for it to get to $6,000, that's a big increase of only 400%. Where something is $120, goes to $240. That's a lot more feasible. Apple has split a variety of different times throughout the course of their history. Google just split. Tesla split last year. Amazon is about to split. So
Nvidia.
Yeah, it just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Run it up
on Disney too, because now when you have to pick between the two, since the price is cheaper, now you're going to have to say it's like getting LeBron at $5 million a year. I may like Pat Beverly at $5 million. If I can get LeBron though, now you have to make some tough decisions about what am I going to have in my portfolio if I'm going based on price that I have available. You have a superstar available for pretty much a rookie contract in your portfolio. That's going to be very hard to turn down.
They're doing some interesting with their streaming service right now. So Disney Plus, and they kind of announced it like subliminally, but they're going to be having different tiers now. So like if you have Disney Plus, you just play that one tier, or the tier that gives you ESPN and all these other things. But they're going to have another tier where you can have advertisement or non-advertisement. So that's just another revenue stream on top of what they're doing. Streaming service is doing incredible. It's almost, it's going to catch Netflix within the next 3 to 5 years, but having that ad service in it, now you're talking about more revenue on top of the parks opening. I just saw that Disney Paris reopened. So it goes my good company, Disney again. The stock split for Amazon, though, May 27th. It goes in effect May 27th. So that's when it'll split.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. China stock suffered its worst sell-off since 2008. It's now a good time to buy. China.
I think we can't talk about whether to buy or not until we understand why it hit its lowest point since 2008. So obviously, and if anyone wasn't paying attention, COVID is back in China, and so
allegedly,
well, they closed down factories. So they closed down factories, which led to the sell-off. But obviously the way they handled COVID in the early stages was a lot different than we did, and so they didn't have this type of outbreak. But there are certain cities right now in China that are noticing outbreaks, and so what's happening
what cities is it?
Wuhan. Shenzhen, which is key for a lot of technology companies, including Apple. I think 1/5 of the production happens in the city, and so since there's an outbreak, they've closed down factories for 6 days. That's the minimum. They got to close them for 6 days. And anything, if they don't see numbers changing, then they extend it. And so you shut down production for 6 days, shut down a lot of business for a lot of companies. And so, the market got hit. The Shenzhen got hit. So you're looking at a bunch of sectors, and including like gambling and travel companies as well, right? So it's interesting. Like we're looking at it here in New York. Like I know since we've been back in over the past week or so, it's like, all right, well, New York feels like it's kind of open. And so to hear COVID and hear China again, I'm like, nah, man, not again. We can't, don't do this.
And once again, we are one of the few countries that lets the companies run our country. And also too, when you guys are investing in Chinese companies, even in publicly traded markets, you need to make sure that you're actually owning shares of that company and not offshore accounts.
That is a fact. Now, that is something like when the fine print, when you try to buy shares of these companies, like if you try to buy shares of Alibaba, look at the fine print of what you're actually getting. I don't want to bring up the Luke and Coffee thing, but I will. I will.
There's a few.
When I did the Luke and Coffee thing, I looked at the fine line and I looked under. I'm like, wait, I'm actually not buying shares of the company. I'm buying like what? And so like that, like doing that type of homework and doing that research led me to, all right, well, okay, here comes the rug.
Dior, right? Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. Listen, when we say do your own research, go look. This isn't a conspiracy theory either. Like, go look and see when you actually buy what you're getting. You have to be very careful. And then the way that government runs their country is how most countries are ran. So you have to be careful. And then when Jack Ma just, he went to his meditation retreat for a few months, that was indicative of what's to come. Now, if Alibaba goes 20% underneath its all-time low, I would definitely take a look at it. Anything outside of that price, no. In combination with inflation, global recession, my biggest fear is if we don't get this Russia and Ukraine, my theory is Putin is a proxy for China. He will leave Russia, have safe harbor in China. China takes over Taiwan and they try and destroy the world economy so they can become the superpower.
You think Putin was going to leave Russia?
I hear my dad, my mom, and my grandma from heaven telling me, "Baby, don't touch that." That's what I said.
Set you up.
No, I'm just asking.
I think
I just don't see
March
that
9th just passed. I think Notorious B.I.G. had one of the greatest albums in life after death. We're gonna segue to a whole new thing. What album's that? That's Sade in.
Yeah. It's Women's Month. So we got Janet up there. Shout out to Control. Shout out to Sade. Yeah. So I mean, in addition to everything we said about China and COVID and the market taking 8%, there's also some rumors of delisting, which is never great for a company, right? When you get delisted.
What's getting delisted?
There's rumors they're saying like Tencent might get delisted, JD, like all these companies, these Chinese companies.
All these Chinese companies?
Yeah, Chinese companies getting delisted from the stock exchange. So
imagine if Suge Knight had Steve Jobs' intellect. Now multiply that times 10, that's their leadership.
This Russia-Ukraine situation, let's briefly talk about this. Escalated. It's been escalating. And he's Putin, he's not backing down. He's not backing down. So lasting a little bit longer than I thought. I think because partially because China actually did give him a lifeline.
Mm-hmm.
But how long do you think this is?
It'll be over before the third quarter.
Yeah, they starving him out. Unrest in the country now.
Mm-hmm.
People trying to, they're trying to flee Russia.
The oligarchs that have fled.
They're trying to move.
They don't have a choice.
Yeah, they're on their. I don't even want to call them yachts. I call them ships. Like they're on they're on the Maldives.
Can't dock anywhere.
Yeah. There's a few safe havens. Like Dubai is a safe haven, and the Maldives is safe. So like they're parking their ships outside of the Maldives, and I don't know how they get into Dubai, but they're getting to Dubai, and that's kind of like been a safe haven for the oligarchs. That's the wealthiest of the wealthy Russians.
Got it. Yeah. Hopefully this gets resolved pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's bad for everybody.
Before the start of third quarter, it will. But this definitely exposes a lot about how fragile the market really is. If I can just be very honest, there's not many companies that are actually producing great product, have great service, great outcome. And even in the angel space, like there's a lot of things that are overvalued 150 times sales. And it's like, you ask the average person on the street, have they ever heard of the company? They're like, no. I feel like we are entering the second version of House of Cards that we saw in 2007. But now it could be global. The impact would be global. And now if we go into another Lehman-like event and we have a meltdown, you can't print your way out of it because we printed all the money prior. So when everybody went and got Rolls-Royce trucks, who prior couldn't get 3 index funds, you had to know something was really bad was going to come. we are spending too fast. And then, I mean, I had everybody in Red Panda read the Ray Dalio book. We are on our tail end in terms of our dominance. Even in comparison to Canada, you can argue some parts of DR are more advanced than the United States of America.
Definitely Japan, Dubai. Took it a little too far, the DR conversation. Shout out to all my Dominicans, though.
There are some places where we can argue. I'll say this. We saw it in London. Okay. Let's go here. The cereal that we have traditionally fed our children is classified as candy in other countries. So if I can erode your health, and our educational system is one of the worst on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
If I rot you from the inside out, it's tough, man.
Yeah,
there's some luxuries that we have, but there's some advantages that other countries have that we definitely are lacking in.
Yeah, one of the things that they said we got to play close attention to is they're moving towards Poland and trying to attack Poland. Now, Poland's interesting because it's a NATO nation. So if you attack that nation, then obviously, the entire NATO can now get involved. And they said that that's kind of a place that, people are harboring and sending weaponry and utilities to the people of Ukraine. And so pay attention to that. Poland.
Go ahead. I know
a lot of Dominican
flags. I was about to say, we might do that.
Come on. You mean Econo? Quit playing with me. You're not going to have me go to New York. You're in trouble. No. I need my passport from Jersey and New York.
We got to be good on that.
Come on.
My birthday, February 27th. That's Dominican Independence Day. So, shout out to all the Dominicans out there. Okay, let's do something that we haven't done.
We're good on the heights, yo. We're good in the heights. Trust me.
Let's do something that we haven't done in a while. Say that way. Can we go through 20 companies?
Yeah. Troy, you want to show? And I'll throw a couple at you, and then we can.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you the joint right now. There you go.
Hold on, let me change my settings real quick.
This has been a minute. Let's do this.
Yeah. I know everybody in Red Panda. Hold on. Let me make sure I got the right settings. Let me get my settings right, because I know let's come back to it. Let's come back to it.
All right, so let's talk about this then, while we're waiting for that. Let's talk about portfolio construction. So you recently stated that if you have a well-constructed portfolio, you should never be down. So what exactly did you mean by that, and how do you construct a portfolio that does not lose?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. It's not easy. So if you guys have read Money Master the Game, shout out to everybody in Red Panda who sent me the excerpt where he talked about 2022 probably being a tough year. So I want you guys to write this down. And this is something I asked Stock Club this past weekend. How many stocks did you have for the long term, hypothetically? Put that in chat first. And I covered this at InvestFest. Then the second tier, how many swing trades are you going to have for the year? Then how many long-term investments in crypto are you going to have? Number 4, how many swing trades in crypto will you have? And then how many intraday trades are you going to have? So if you have because when they say diversification, they don't mean having retail, automotive, insurance, gold, etc. You need to have a portfolio that no matter what happens in any market is calibrated to be able to win. Some of you have used the UVXY as a way to hedge. Some of you have done VIX futures or VIX products to offset it, but you have to look at your portfolio in advance. You have to prepare before the storm comes and say, okay, if everything goes to hell in a handbasket, how will I be able to make money? Long-term investment first, swing trade stocks, long-term crypto, swing trade crypto, long-term futures, swing trade futures and intraday. And that's a way you can calibrate your portfolio to not be down. I want to say this, regardless of what you invest in, investing in just one thing is a mistake. It's the worst number in business. My mentor used to always tell me, one of anything is bad. Unless it's a wife, because you don't want to get divorced.
One's too close to none. That's what Floyd said.
That's real.
What was he talking about?
It's real.
Yes.
Right? So you have to be very careful. If you only are leaning on one thing, when you have drawdown, you have to be able to print money regardless of what the market or economy is doing. So please be careful with that. But that's a blueprint. Long-term swing trade. So if your long-term portfolio is getting beat up, you should be shorting to the downside or swinging to the downside to offset the losses that you have.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's tough. It's not easy. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
That's not easy
at all.
Yeah, that's like
but it beats being down and almost quitting. Because let's be honest, when we as Black people lose in the market, we may stay away 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, we out. We out. It's like we put our toe in there, it didn't work out right, and now we're never coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That usually is the formula.
What is the 4-part blueprint to building an edge in short-term investing or trading?
So please write this down. Number 1, you have to have a ridiculous. All business is math and psychology, right? So you need to have a huge risk to reward ratio. So you want to risk $1 to make 11. That's one of my favorites. And Jess talked about it before X. The same thing when she was on the Stock Club call last week and on Market Mondays. We need to have her back next month. Or you want to risk 1 to make 25. Even if you're not a good trader, if you are risking $1 to make 25, you can lose 3 or 4 times. And when you finally hit, you're good, right? I found when people are scalping, they're trying to risk $1 to make 1. The risk tolerance is too low, and that ends up being gambling. So number 1, you want to do that. Number 2, I don't see enough people do this. I need you to back test your strategy to know how it will work in every market. So for those of you that trade futures or options, I need you to go through 20 years of data on a thing that you're trading on the day chart and go through every single day and see if your strategy will work every single day. What happened last couple of years, right? We had momentum to the upside because of quantitative easing. But if you study 2007, 2008, 2009, 02, 01, you'd have been prepared for this. 99 ran up to the, like this market from last year looks like 99. It looks like we're entering 2000 and 2001 right now. So if you really want to have a huge edge, it's like if you can only play basketball in like a well-lit gym with perfectly waxed floors and new Jordans, you can't hoop. You have to be able to play in every condition. So you have to know if the market is trending really hard to the upside, can you make money? If it's trending really hard to the downside, if we're flat, if we're in war, if there is a limit up on a bunch of products, can you still make money? You have to back test the hell out of your strategy. Number 3, pick the number of trades for the year and do not deviate from it. I'm gonna be real.
Tough.
It's tough, but it's worse than losing all your damn money.
Also true.
And I'll say, when I overtraded, boy, I was crying like Trey from Boys in the Hood swinging that air. You ever lost $22,000 and then you have no good reason? Well, how you lose? Well, I deviated, but I shouldn't have. But you met no. So the lessons that I share with you guys are from my personal experience. And when we see people get on great runs, like the runs you guys have gotten on, combination of consistency. For those of you who were there at Apollo, when he put up that billboard of what he made, right? Limited number of trades. I don't know any traders that make a lot of money, whether retail or institutional, that are taking more than 40, 50 trades in a year. Most of them are really like 4 to 15. It's not that many good opportunities. It's just like hooping. Like, how many ball players do we know that take shots and they're guarded, and as soon as they shoot it, you know that they're going to miss? Wait to take shots that you know that you cannot miss. That's number 3. And then number 4, you have to only trade your setup. So for me, even if you don't like 2 Tech 2 Index, at least I have a formula that I'm sticking to. You shouldn't hop around and do options one day, NFT one day. You want to sell weed one day. You want to rap one day. You have to pick one definitive lane, master that, stick to that setup, and don't deviate. So if you're trading off the sniper EMA, stick with that. The setup that I have is what gave me this crystal ball. There are other ways I could trade, but once you master one thing, and that's why I always go back to everything is relatable. They have one SKU of product. Why? Because it's working. If they had 84 sayings, the sales wouldn't be as good. You know the sales good because the boy keep aligning. I ain't never seen Rashad Droid online ever. Glowing. One SKU, one setup, one strategy, and you can win. And you'll be good. Those are the 4 things you need to do to be able to have an edge in short-term investing. And if you do that, you'll make a hell of a lot of money. And if I made you money, please put yes in chat.
Yes, put yes in chat. You ever bowled in Jordan?
No.
Kind of a heavy shoe. I don't think I've ever seen you play bowling, Jordan.
No,
that's not you.
What is the key to success? We all give one. Okay, so what's the key to success? This is
I want you to go.
Yeah,
because I hit you yesterday. I didn't hear from you all day. My bad, man. I've been editing 10 hours. I'll say, oh, you going back to the Just Blaze guru. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So share, like, because I think that's a great lesson that people need to hear, because I think people think all that we do is party.
Yeah, for sure. I always say these two things: consistency and originality. Consistency and originality, and that might sound a little generic, but it's true. And that's something that I realized, as far as for me, that's always been, something that has always, propelled me, is my ability to have an imagination and to think outside the box and to see things that's not really, there yet. So that's being an artist. I look at myself more as an artist than a business person. And then the consistency. And consistency is actually being able to do it every single day for long periods of time. It takes a special talent to actually just be able to concentrate on something for a very long period of time, and block out everything else that's going on. So yeah, like I told you, I'm back. I think my best talent right now is to create content, and I got away from that. We doing so much stuff, but that's how it originally started for me. Was staying up to like 4:00 in the morning on my parents' house, sleeping on their couch and just making content on my phone, sleeping in my apartment, making content on my phone. And, just learning, like I learned how to edit myself, learn different apps, learn how to speed up videos, how to cut videos, learn all of that by myself, learned it on my cell phone. So, I just realized that, I want to go back to that. Like we still use other people to have content for us, but I just like to have my posts on content. I think content is extremely important. So I was up like 10 hours yesterday just making content for the Steve Harvey episode, just going through the episode myself, looking at little things and tweaking little things, like literally and we got the new kids channel that we about to drop. Shout out to my niece Blessing. So EYO Kids, that's something that, I really want to be hands-on with that. So it's like starting all over again. So going through the content, it's like Kanye going back, like when he said locking yourself in the basement for 5 summers, whatever that line was. Like, that's how it is. Like, I feel like, it's a producer, like going back in there and, acting like you just started, like it's day one. So that's one of the keys. That's a major key right there. And I feel like, not enough people can actually do that. And that's why I like, living in New York, because it's like, we go to Miami, we go to LA, we go to Atlanta. It's a lot of distractions. We get distracted a lot. We go out, we're clubbing every single night. But when you get back to New York and get back home, especially where we live, it's like back to reality. And it's not like a lot of distractions. And it just gives you time to just, kind of like focus. It's back to like reality. So, that to me is my keys to success for sure.
I'm gonna add one more to that. So it's always a consistency, right? But it's persistence too. Like we never stop. Like everybody's like, yo, y'all never stop. No, we never stop, because we're always in the pursuit of the next thing. And so like people are still trying to, like, yo, that was so great what you did. And they're kind of like, yo, you guys are so humble about it. I'm like, because we're literally in the pursuit of the next thing. Like we're looking at December while people are talking like, yo, hey, what are we going to do next weekend? You know what I'm saying? Like we're planning for next year already. And so we're always in constant pursuit of being better and being greater, right? There's no limitation on success. And so there's no limitation on what we will do to get there, because we're always in pursuit of it. And so as long as we got that hunger, obviously with the consistency, it's a dangerous match. That's why I really feel like, yo, when they're like, yo, who's the competition? I don't think there's one. We never look at anybody as competition, because we're always in pursuit of being better than what we were yesterday.
Yeah.
So those two things, plus the persistence and the constant pursuit of being greater, I think those are keys.
And it happened. I'll say this one too. It happened a few times in my life. One time I was down. I was down a few times. One time I was down.
I was there, bro.
And I had to come back. I dug myself in a pretty deep hole. I had to come back. I didn't cry about it though. I moved back in with my parents, and I played the Drake album. I've been in the crib with the phones or taking no calls. Like I was playing that, and I was up to like 3:00 in the morning, cut the blinds. Like that's before I was doing this. That's when I was a financial advisor, and I was back on my feet. And then I was back on my feet. And then when we started this, when I was doing this, and it was like I would just be playing music. Like I'd just be playing music, staying up to like 4:00 in the morning for like 3 years. And that's where I do my best work, when I can like concentrate, like need like cemetery silence. And now I'm back on that. Obviously, I'm not in that same financial state that I was, but I'm back on that type of vibe where it's like, it's like Rocky. I feel like you're about to train for a fight.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta let your hair grow, cut the shades off, and just vibe out. And yeah, so it feels good though. It feels good to be back in that type of vibe.
Yeah, it's nonstop, man. Nonstop progression, man. And we studying too. That's the best part. Like we learning stuff as we go. What we about to turn this thing into, man. It's crazy because we learning skills, and those skills are y'all gonna be able to see it. Yeah, I think that's the best part. Like people have come with us this whole way. Like when we started this, right? It was like a step and repeat, and Ian was in a chair, and now it's grown to something that's crazy. Like when we started Earning Leisure, it was cell phones, and now we got, I mean, you'll see tomorrow that top of the line camera work. You know what I'm saying? So like the things that we're learning, the things we're gonna be applying, man, I hope it's an inspiration for everybody that's watching. Cause like like we always say, like it's gonna be tough for you to be LeBron James. Like you probably can't be him, right? Like he's been gifted that from God. But chances are, like, if you watch the things that we implement, you can duplicate it in a sense that works for you. You're not going to be us, but you could be you and use some of these things.
But even with the LeBron thing, what about you? What was he? Was LeBron gifted that, or because I can name maybe 15 players at one time that had the same build as LeBron, but didn't have the same work ethic.
Yeah, his work ethic too. He outlasted every single person that came in his draft class because of his work ethic. So it's a combination. I even look at even what we do, like we've been gifted with some talents, some God-given abilities. What is that's going to only take you so far. Talent can only take you so far. Hard work is going to put you over the top.
Yeah.
What about you? What's yours?
Yeah, man. Somewhere there's a kid right now wanting this spot. I'm going to tell you, man, just focus on getting the highest returns possible. For me, my secret has been relentless, stubborn as dedication to being great at one thing. Yes, I'm trying to get better at the media. Yes, I'm trying to be more personable and not rant as much, right? But for me, everyone that has gotten to a place that I want to be in, they always tell me the same thing. Like, if you have that one, and I see what you got. I told you I was going to intern. It was time to go in the lobby. I'm like, bro, I'm tired. Thank God I can trade. I'd have been 5 day one. Abdullah, boy, hey, I don't know how y'all do it.
Shout out to the lobby boys.
Right?
Shout out to the lobby boys.
Doing, I owe you a call, right? Different, but mastery of craft. I'll tell you this. They plant certain information, because I have a chance to talk to entrepreneurs from all walks of life, all across the world. A lot of the information that we get told, like multiple streams, and you have to be good at a whole bunch of things. No other culture gets told that but us. Even regardless of what you think about Grant. Grant has mastered selling and build an audience so he can then, me and Grant in the same business, aggregation of people to then capitalize off it by turning it into money and making you money. That's why I can see what Gary's trying to do with the NFT thing. I see that's a hedge fund move. A record label is a hedge fund. For those you get them advances, they are a bank. But you may be the paper to them, or they want to treat artists like that. And even what you guys were talking about in Miami and LA, like I was out with Weezy and Alex and Emily, and I'm working on the show notes at lunch. And people are like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, most people don't. They're like, no, everybody mailed their podcast in. And I'm like, that's why they haven't had the impact. Focus on the crafts. I know some of you want to be seen and want to be in media. Most of the people that you see in media have no money. How do I know? Because when we go into our meetings talking Harvey, like, go ahead.
Harvey talked about that. Steve Harvey talked about that tomorrow.
I'm being real.
It's not what you think it is. It's really not.
Okay, can I? Oh, I'm gonna calm down. Can I ask you graciously and kindly? Of all the podcasts that you guys know, how many of them are actually profitable?
Not a lot.
10 bands, 50 bands, 100 bands. They don't got it.
Not a lot, man. Not a lot.
Focus on your craft. And if you do that, man, for those of you that can actually trade long-term invest, you don't have to compete with anybody because there's so much money out there for you. And that's why I always tell Don P, everybody in Dream Team, Lindsay, happy belated birthday. I love you. I'm like, man, if I'm not getting 5,000-6,000% return a month, like I'm not doing my job. My job is to be on the court. When I was coming up, and same thing, when I fell down, my mom was like, listen, I need you to quit bullshitting. Excuse my language. Je ne sais quoi parlez-vous. I need you to quit playing and get one thing down. And when you get that one thing down, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try it for 1 year. Tried it for 1 year and never stop. So even when we was out in London, we'd go out and party, a bottle pop. You guys saw it in my story, 4 a.m., right back on the charts, 5-6 hours. 4 hours here. Don't give up on that. And when people tell you don't master one thing, that's because they do not want you to pass them up. That's it. That is the blueprint.
There you have it. So let's go. But before one last thing I'm gonna say about that is you either go to bed late or you get up early. Depending. Me, I'm not really a morning person, so I go to bed late. I'm up till like 4, 3, 2 o'clock in the morning. Some people I know is up at 4:30. Mark Wahlberg, they say he's up at 4 o'clock in the morning working out.
Yeah, I pushed it back to like 6 now.
You either go to bed late or you wake up early. You can't go to bed early and wake up late.
My dad used to say you can't. What did it say? You can't hoop with the Owls and rise with the Eagles. I used to hate when he told me that. He was right. He was right. You gotta pick one. You gotta
choose wisely.
You gotta pick one. You can't sleep your life away. Yeah. Pillow huggers. Pillow huggers.
And even though the partying and celebrating, a lot of that is to mask the pain of not hitting the goals that you wanted to hit. Because people are like, man, you don't never want to go out, you don't never want to kick it. I'm like, I don't know what kind of brown y'all drank before, but the one I drank had me sick for 3 days. I'm good. Maybe you can recover in 20 minutes. I can't. I'll be hungry 5, 6 days. I'm cool. I'm a lightweight. But I saw people weren't happy once they come off that high or from being drunk. And ultimately, they wanted the feeling of being celebrated, but didn't have the achievement. And, we're getting older. When men don't hit certain marks by 35, 40, the depression that hits men, different, because no one really loves men for just being men unconditionally. It's what do you bring to the table? Even every conversation, Ian, I love you, man. I love you for the culture. I wish you would quit ranting, but I rock with the rants. What you think of these 5 stocks? You don't even ask how I'm doing. That's the journey of being a man, though. Yeah. I see it with y'all. Hey, how I get my podcast popping? Do one every day, every week. It's like rap. You got to put in your time. So for the men, if you feel like the world is beating up on you or giving up on you and you haven't hit your mark, ask, are you working on a thing that you want to be great at every single day? Quit gaming, quit going out. Just try for a year. I promise you, your life will change for the better. And everybody in Red Panda has done it. And if it's worked well for you, put change in chat. Just stay focused. And I see it with B, Abdullah, Jaleel. Like, you have to laser focus in on that one thing and give everything else up, man. Everything else up.
Yes.
35 is a key age.
A change gonna come like Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
All right. Can we get to 20 stocks?
Yeah, before we go there, let me just get our earnings report and then we'll go to the 20 stocks. Because some of them might come up. And so 35 is the key age, like we said, but what's even key is starting to think about your future a lot earlier. And that might include life insurance. So on that note, it makes sense why people get life insurance, especially term coverage, which is surprisingly affordable. Why not pay a bit each month to protect the ones you love? If you're asking yourself this question, I want y'all to check out Ladder. Ladder makes it impressively fast and easy to get covered. Just all you need is a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithms work in real time, so you'll find out instantly if you're approved. No hidden fees and cancel anytime. And since life insurance costs more as you age, now's the time to cross that off your list. So check out Ladder today to see if you're instantly approved. Go to ladderlife.com/Market Mondays. That's LADDER life.com/Market Mondays. Ladderlife.com/Market Mondays. Can save your life. It's not for those who live, right? It's not for the people who live.
For the people that it's
not for the people who die. It's for the people who live.
Yes,
that's what you told me a long time ago. All right, so we got a couple of earnings that are coming up. FedEx, and we kind of spoke about them when I said that Amazon is going to be the #1 shipping supplier in the world in the next maybe 6 months. Dollar General, when we talked about inflation, we talked about some of these stores, these Dollar Marts and Dollar Generals, these type of stores that will probably increase in sales, obviously, as the cost of products go up. One of the things that they said, and this was actually a good report actually on ABC News, is that there are a few Dollar Generals that are going to have produce inside. I know that wasn't something that was available. Yeah, so it was like most of them, if you look inside of inner cities, they don't have any produce. And that was one of the things that, all right, how can we shop here if they don't? But they are starting to put produce in some of the Dollar Generals. So that's interesting. And then they're reporting on Thursday, and GameStop will be reporting on Thursday.
Infamous GameStop.
You brought them up, so I just wrote it down.
GameStop is legend.
New CEO. So we'll see what happens with that. That's our earnings report for this week, yo.
Legend. Okay, Ian.
Let me see if I can get
Let's
this
get it.
going and not have any technical difficulties. Let's see. If not, we go.
GameStop is up $2.30 after hours. It was down $14 today.
Everyone put in chat, well, what's the value of GameStop outside of them pumping it? If you're gonna trade it, I'm not mad at it. Have your target, but be
GameStop
careful.
is legend.
Yeah,
I'm having issues
wonderful
on my
Apple
side.
hit.
Okay.
I'll
all right.
pre-record. I know you guys been asking for slides. I have my baby this week for spring break, so I'm gonna chill with my baby. But next week, I promise you, I will bring some slides back, and I'm gonna do these 20.
The slide
stocks for
voiceover
y'all.
shall return.
You want to just talk about a few stocks just to get like some.
Yeah, let's do a few. Like, so let's do this. Let's make it interactive. I'm trying to get in my Troy Joy bag with education.
All right, let's do it.
Let's look at Wish. So I want you guys to look at the 5-year month and tell me if the overall direction of Wish is up or down. Because a lot of times people are like, I don't know how to invest. I'm like, if you can drive, you can tell direction, right? So is it up or down?
Wish,
Yep.
WISH.
Yep.
Straight on the OTC market.
Wish is dead. This is easy.
Yep. Let's go to Clove, CLOV, Clover Health Investment Corporation.
Looking at it.
Is the direction up or down?
That baby's going down. 5 years?
Yep. Don't want to touch it. Go to ARVL, Arrival Group. So anytime I look at any, and I'll reveal this, Pierre Dom, don't kill me. Even in a business, I'm looking at the 5 years of the entrepreneur and revenue. Because everything's baked in. Excuses, strategy, planning, marketing, social. I can see how a person thinks inside of a 60-month window, right? If they have not presented any great results within 5 years, oh baby, go to Fubo, FUBO. Is the direction up or down? And some can make the argument, hey, overall, the market is down. Therefore, most charts are going to look like that. The drawdown shouldn't be, and it's a rule that I said in 2020 and 2019, 2021, if the previous high is not within the same year, it's not a good investment. So let's go look at Hood. I like Robin Hood. Appreciate you guys.
Robin Hood.
Shout out to my people.
But brokerages are a tough business because the margins are thin. So when you get to studying the sector and understand in totality over 30 years, is that sector a good investment? Unless you're getting in, seed stage, maybe Series A, it's really not that good. Let's go look at Twilio, TWLO. So when I say, hey, go look at everything, Twilio was at 457, but when was that all-time high made? What year? 2021. It's been on a downside since July. And let me give you guys a secret. If you really want to know when a market is turning over, you have to go to the softer markets. If you guys remember at the end of December of 2020, I told you go look at the Russell 2000, right? Go look at the Nikkei. Go look at the Bovespa. And if you look at the Chinese index, that would tell you ahead of time if we are going to go into recession. So if that market falls apart first, it's going to lag and hit us later. But those are the things that I'm looking at to see, because the weaker companies are going to fall first. So if we go look at Snow, SNOW, go look at the 5-year month. Snow hit a all-time low of 164.36. And I remember when everybody was like, Shotty, man, you got to get in off the show, man. I like Snow. Snow going to the moon, baby. And then it
Snowflake.
Yeah. Snow is going to the moon, but
SNOH.
Come
on, man.
Come on. Different conversation.
What you and Joseph doing? Y'all gonna fight?
No. That's separate. That's a 10 o'clock hour. That's a 10 o'clock hour.
This is just entertainment.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Shout out to Corey. Ish Ice, love you. And then one more we'll look at.
By the way, she's on tour, so make sure you get tickets to see that. Ian, can I tell you one? And this is like when I'm talking about just doing the work. Like,
the Shotty didn't say no though.
No, that's a different conversation. That's a different conversation. Let's refocus. Okay. So GLNG. So check this chart out. So 9 months ago, this is crazy. I was reading, I think it might have been Business Insider, reading, like they put out the stocks to watch, like every month they put out them. And so I had watched this company and just sat with it, watched it. And then lo and behold, as the energy became one of the things to invest in. I watched this thing go from $10. I think it's up to 18 now.
What's the name of it?
GLNG is the ticker. It's
yeah.
Golar Limited. There's like a liquefaction of natural gas. And so over the term, I'm like, wow, man, I literally let this thing go. I let it go. So
over the life of it. Not
over the life of it.
Yeah.
Right. But over the past 2 years, I've been watching. So it was like I think probably in September, like I said, 9 months ago, it was trading at $7 a share. And then over the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe a month, probably December, we started to see it tick up, got up to almost $19 intraday in early February. I was like, wow, my patience didn't work out that time. But that happens, right? Like I got to learn. Like I was patient for like 8 months with it. And then I was like, all right, I'm done. And then lo and behold, that's what happened. So just one of those things, patience.
Everyone write this down. Only follow your plan. Please, I want every person to write this. Only follow your plan. And then B, if a stock is at 100, you only want to buy it at $10, 25, and stop at 50. Because guess what happens? The first time I sell you this and I'm like, hey, this is an NFT and it's worth 44,000, but I paid $2 for it. You're the bag holder. When you make the decision to only buy assets at the best price, it makes a huge difference. Those of you in real estate, you know this. It's about the price in which you acquire the asset. That's it. That's the entire game. And guess what? Majority of people on the institutions know. And that's why when people like Frederick could come on, Bonawyn, Josh, right? They'll be like, everything I'm saying is great. But it's the discipline where you wait for that price when the entire world is telling you. And great. Now we saw Tekashi come out and say, God bless his soul. Hey, I'm broke.
I'm broke.
Oh, what happened?
And
Tekashi, he ran out of money.
Yeah.
I mean,
on Instagram.
I mean,
you saw that one come. He spent like $1 million a month on security.
Yeah,
security. I didn't even hear about this.
Yeah, he can't do. He's not doing shows. Nobody's booking him.
I mean, now you saw that one.
It goes back to when you chase something and you move without integrity, that business plan usually falls apart. That's why I tell everyone here, you don't even have to like my disposition. Just judge me on the investment side. Because guess what? It's a lot of people that are likable and they're going to lose you a whole bunch of money. And you won't like them when they lose you the money. But if you move without integrity, that usually falls apart. Even with Microsoft, when Microsoft rested on their laurels for 10 years when Ballmer was there would be no Apple if Ballmer had not messed up Microsoft the way that he did. But got too big for his britches, didn't operate with integrity, didn't look to improve the product. And now there's gaps. And I'll say this too. If a depression or recession comes for entrepreneurs, this is the time for you to get mega rich. Mega rich. Some of you that I meet that are incredibly talented, go harder. You have valuable brands, valuable currency, like go harder. In every disaster, there is immense opportunity. Most people won't tell you that, but a lot of people that have become millionaires and billionaires did so in depression or recession states.
Just opportunities in every crisis.
Yep.
Grant Cardone, one of his best slogans that he said.
Yeah.
Before we go to question and answers, can I just get one question? Nike stock. How you feel about Nike?
I like it as a retail. I like Target a little bit more. But Nike is Nike's probably one of the safest ones. If you want a price, I can throw in a price for you real quick. Give me 1 second.
They're down at 117 right now.
Yeah, 52-week low.
Yeah.
52-week low. They have hit their 52-week low.
I'll wait till 107.21.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 107.21.
They say it's not for the culture. We're gonna do more.
Yeah, they announced that they're gonna be pulling out of some of their big retail partners.
Foot Locker being
one.
Foot Locker's done. If Nike pulls out of Foot Locker, they're done. I'm
gonna be real. Like, what is the advantage of offering your product in a place? Okay, you shouldn't endorse or promote any brand if you don't have equity or royalties in perpetuity in it. That is called prostitution. Why would you do it?
Shout out to our good friends at Foot Locker, man.
Yeah, Foot Locker is done. Not gonna happen anymore. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Can we get some questions?
Yeah. Jay, what's going on? You there?
Hey guys, I am here. Hello, everyone.
Looking glorious. How are you, Queen?
Thank you. I'm
When we
good.
partying
Feeling
again?
good. Huh?
When we partying again?
Let me know. I'm ready when you are. I'm still in rest mode from New York. I also got
I
2
know.
tickets while I was out there. So
Oh, actually, Foot Locker is not Foot Locker might not be dead. Foot Locker. Sorry about sorry.
Update.
Sorry for saying
Well,
that.
okay, what happened?
We'll
We'll talk about that later.
Gotcha.
I forgot.
Wait,
forgot.
wait, what kind of tickets you got? Parking
I
tickets?
forgot.
Troy, great job.
I
I
forgot.
saw the segue.
Huh? Nah, it's all good. It's my brother, man.
Professional.
Yeah. Jay, you said you got parking tickets or you got tickets? What kind of
yes,
tickets?
while I was in New York. 2.
You know what? I got a ticket for the first time. I got a speeding ticket. It was like ridiculous. I've never got a speeding ticket in my
What
life.
did you get a ticket for?
Yo, it was crazy. Like I didn't even pass the officer. Like
I got
he
2
was
parking
like,
tickets.
You was in
he was
Jersey?
like 200 yards ahead of me.
I was in New York, the city.
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like we're having 2 different conversations.
No, go ahead, Jenny.
I'll say one.
You're more important right now. Go ahead. I'm sorry that you got a ticket.
Yeah,
New
so
York-
I'm happy to be back home in Rhode Island. Shout out to Rhode Island. Drop some fire in the chat if you're from Rhode Island.
So, shout out to everybody. We got to come out.
Hey,
there.
hold on. We're just gonna skip over this this birthday video you put up in Hawaii.
Oh God.
Oh wow.
I get
that was
so
fire.
nervous when I post on Instagram. I don't know why, but
Just make your page
it
That
did
was
post the
fire.
reel. It took me several hours to do it. I had to save there and I was editing it, but I got it done.
Creator's dilemma.
That's why he's up to 4 o'clock. It take a while.
You working on your reels, Rashad?
That's a fact. That is a fact.
That
Absolutely.
is too funny. I did want to say, I know you have the Control album up. I was actually named after Janet Jackson. Shout out to my older sisters that are big Janet Jackson fans. Fun fact.
Okay, did not know that.
Learn something every day.
Fun fact.
Yeah, my name was gonna be Claudia. I'll let you guys know all my business, but let me give you guys some updates. I haven't really given an update in a while.
Let's
I
talk
am
about it.
adding, huh?
Let's talk about it. Let's
All right,
do
cool.
it.
So yeah, I'm adding another short-term rental unit. So I have tenants that are moving out, and I'm going to be housing my first ever traveling nurse. So I'm excited for that. I have to furnish the apartment. I'm excited. That's interesting, I guess. And then now I'm thinking, with everything going on in the market and in the world, that maybe with my portfolio, I want to add like a multi-unit and just Section 8 it out, something that's going to be maybe safer. So I'll be looking into that. See if I have anything else.
We didn't do our Toro thing, so if you need help with any of those projects, you have a friend and co-investor in me.
Thank you so much, Ian. And then the last thing I had here is just my research. I mean, I've been really probably doomsday research, but really into the Great Depression, thinking about like looking into who was making the most money at the time, what were the most stable markets, that kind of stuff has been on my heart. So I don't want to say on my heart, that sounds super intense.
What research have you done? Because that's my favorite era. What investors have you found did incredibly well during that era?
Well, I saw like Babe Ruth and people like that came up, but I wanted to get like out of that kind of more famous people. I did see a lot of supermarkets and things like that. I think this, like, I'm not saying we're gonna have a recession, it's gonna be crazy, but I think definitely stocking up is a good idea. One of the questions I had here too, after the earners asked their questions, but I'm gonna just throw it in there now, is in terms of emergency funds with inflation, how do we feel about that 6-month mark? We always say 6 to a year. I know Ian says 5 years, but since inflation just keeps going up, how should we be looking at our emergency funds at this point in time?
You really need 2 years if you want the real answer. Because I'm going to be honest, just being Black, anytime that we have a disaster, it's not only us, it's us, grandma, cousin, niece, nephew at one time. Or anyone in real estate, right? Everything's going great and all the tenants quit playing, and then the roof falls in, and then kid leaves the tub on, go watch Ryan Toys, and then all the water goes into the unit behind you, underneath you. You need 2 years. For those of you who are like, bro, you crazy, I don't have to. I'm just being honest with you. 2 is a safety net that would allow you to sleep well at night. I'll speak for me. When I didn't have 2, I would have nightmares about what if disaster happens. I even remember when the flood happened here in Houston, my dad called me, was like, yo, you straight? I'm like, yeah, I was good. But I was like, that's what made me really be like, in terms of doomsday prepping, I need to be able to move my friends, family in a heartbeat. That's why I'll forego a lot of luxury things to be able to help my friends on a drop of a dime. Two is a good baseline for sure. And then also, I'll say this too, and Troy and Rashad can speak to this as well. A lot of the things that people put in books and in media, like I love Susie Orman. I had a chance to speak to her maybe 4 years ago. When I asked her how much money she had for an emergency, it wasn't 6 to 12 months. It was like, I don't tell a bit, but it was at least a decade.
Wow.
So there's difference between the information that gets reported for mass selling and consumption versus what people are actually doing. So two is the minimum.
Yeah,
Be mindful.
I took what you said to heart, Ian. When you came to my house that day and you said it was going to be 5 years, 60 months, I was like, let's challenge ourselves. Let's try to get to that. So like that's been mine. But yeah, 2 obviously makes sense. But having enough to have 5 years, because like you said, when you accumulate money, it won't be about you. It'll be about the people you have to help.
Other people.
Yeah. And so like that's been a lesson in itself. It's like you realize how much you're gonna have to help everybody else that's around you. Or maybe you won't. But just for me, it was just like, yeah, there's some people I gotta help. And I've been blessed, so why not become a blessing for others?
Yes.
Sure, can I ask you one follow-up? Rashad, can I get squeeze in one Tavis Smiley question?
Yeah.
Because I know y'all want credit. Troy, like when you take in, because you're a master at taking information from everybody and applying it immediately. For those that hesitate, like what was your driving force to take everything that you learned? Even when we had the conversation in New York, you was like, yo, thanks for the info. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was your driving force to take the information and implement it immediately? Rashad, you too. Rashad, I'm like, Rashad, well, we should go get a Firefly company. He called me next day. I'll talk to Chad and Marvin, UTA. We got Fireflies. And I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
So for those that are delaying and executing, what advice can you give them?
It's like, again, it goes back to that pursuit of being great. It's like, all right, you gave me some information. Let me apply it, because 2 things are going to happen. Either I'm going to learn from it and teach somebody like, yo, this is possible, or I'm going to teach somebody like, look, these are the mistakes I made and why it didn't work. So it's always a double-edged thing. It's like, we're going to learn something here today. You know what I'm saying? So if I could, as an educator, it's like, all right, let's teach either the good thing that happened from this or some of the negative things that we can learn from and actually help some people so that they don't go through it. So yeah, it's always that pursuit, man. Like, all right, let me try this. There's no fear. Like you asked, I think we had this conversation the other day, and you were just like, yo, how do y'all just do this? And it's like, we really don't have any fear. We're just going to try everything. You know what I'm saying? Let's just kind of, we've been granted that gift to like walk through life kind of fearless and saying, all right, we're going to learn or we're going to learn. Either way.
How much further ahead you guys have leaped. You know, even some of my favorite podcasts when I came in, I was like, I don't listen to no podcasts. I was like, for real? No, I mean, like, shoot. Oh, boy came in with the director's chair, couldn't direct. I'm like, now update your paperwork, fam, and the lenses. Boy looked like he shot on a Nokia 2200. Shot was like, what a footage. I'm like, bro, I can't even show it to you. You won't even put episode 70 out, right? But I for everyone, I want you to focus on doing more. And even for me, and I tell like my family and friends, like you need that energy. Same when I'm with Dream Team, like we just get a bunch of stuff done. A lot of people are waiting for their moment. I'm telling you from my personal experience. If God gave you the idea and no one else, every meeting I go into, and Rashad and Troy there testify to it, everyone says everything that I think of is crazy. And then they'll copy it. And then rappers will copy their podcast but don't want to partner. Like execute before somebody takes your idea. And a lot of times when people take our idea, it's not that we're mad at the person. We're mad that we didn't execute it in the time frame that we were supposed to. That idea is only your child for a certain amount of time before God says, hey, I got to give it to a better parent.
And that's why we had to put out. That's why we had to put out the EYL kids. I don't want to see nobody copying that. I don't want to see nobody copying that. That was first to market for that. Don't try this at home.
Rashad, you're Cameron Giles.
Overcharging.
You are a big diplomat. We're not doing this. If I can't do pineapple, I was gonna bring out the leather jacket today. But then my MacBook charger messed up. I had to go to Target. God was like, come on, baby.
Oh man. Shout out to him 500 on the check-in. Shout out to MG the mortgage guy on the check-in.
What up?
Shout out to MG and him. I'm gonna give you credit. He literally posted, "Oh, I can do super chats. I'm going on everybody's YouTube and getting my brand out there.
Yo, he's solid.
Great idea. Yep. Take ideas from everyone, make them uniquely your own. But when I saw that, I was like, that's clever. That's very clever to do. Matt, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on Rants and Gems. Please check out the episode with Matt, Kiana.
Fire one.
I think it's a classic.
Definitely.
Yeah, shout out to the bro, him not them.
Can we get some questions in?
Yeah, sure. Mike Dolo, we are coming to you. Unmute yourself, please.
My brother.
Mike Dolo, the legend. Market Monday's legend. What's going on, Mike?
Come on, brother. Don't leave me hanging.
Oh, don't do this, Mike.
I gotta come to Detroit.
Nah, he posting on Instagram right now. Before we even finish this, it's gonna be on Instagram.
The merch sale, EYL merch sale ends tonight. 50% off all merch. Code Rashad Troy 50 in honor of our birthdays.
Still ringing.
Yes.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Oh, there you
yes.
There you go, Mike. What's up?
I was talking the whole time. Hey, happy belated birthday, Janice. And what's up, y'all?
Thank you.
Okay, my question is, so I have the top companies, Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Tesla. My question is, should I sell where they are now and buy back lower? Because I need more capital.
What's the average price in for Apple?
I think it's 138.
No. I'm gonna talk to you like it's just you and I in Detroit. Unless Apple goes to 101.46, I would not. Now, for those of you if you may need more capital, let's say you bought it like a 180. You have to place a limit order there because here's what normally happens. It drops to 132. And then you hear a report and someone's like, yo, Apple's gonna fall apart. Tim Cook is sick. Ian was wrong. It's over with. Because I know some of you want Apple to fail so bad, so it'll follow my legacy, right? If you are going to sell, have that pending order at 135 or 101. But I want us to think of it like this. If you owned 5% of the Los Angeles Lakers, because they're bad this season, would you sell?
No.
Then don't do it. Can I be super honest with y'all? And I promise you I'm not going to rant. I'm going to deliver this with love. We have to stop focusing on the terms. Call, put, long, short, right? Diversification, long, short equity strategy, right? All the fancy stuff. I want everyone to put in the chat. How many shares do you own? The one thing I do love about when Reddit had their board going crazy, they were trading big size and they were investing in a big number of shares. And for those of you who were at InvestFest, when I gave you the numbers, no, I for a quality company, no, I would not. Because even if, let's say Apple falls another 25%, in 2 or 3 years, you're gonna. How many of you, when you first saw me come on with the tight jacket and the glasses, right? Looking like a square ghost, you wish you would have held on to Apple and Microsoft like crazy. The power in any business, I'm telling you this, even on is holding for the longest period of time. You don't see Rashad go make or promote another brand. You don't see me promote another brand outside of Red Panda. You don't see Trap do it. All the money, even if you want to get to the buyouts, right? Because you need 5 to 10 years to even sell a brand to have enough equity in it to sell it to somebody else to make it seem like you're still running it. We're thinking too short-sighted. Everyone who gets you to focus on anything less than 5 years, they are setting you up for tremendous failure. I wouldn't get rid of it. But if you want to get rid of them, sell them to me. I'll take them right off you.
There you have it.
All right, thank you.
All right, Mike, appreciate you.
Shout out to 19 Keys on the check-in. If y'all ready for 19 Keys to come back on, put a key
in chat. That's my guy.
In chat. Put a key in chat. Next question.
Jonathan, unmute yourself, please. We are coming to you.
He's MMA ready.
Y'all hear me?
How you doing,
Jonathan? What's up, man?
Cool. What's going on? Y'all got to give you your flowers. I appreciate y'all thoroughly so much. I mean, I've been tapping into EYL and Market Mondays since last year, and my entire mindset has definitely shifted since then. So I just want y'all to know y'all are appreciated. You're out here really, really doing the things. I appreciate that.
I appreciate
you for tapping in.
For sure. But now my question. So looking at the daily time frame on the SPX, We already know
yes,
NASDAQ has already gone ahead and done that death cross. So that's already in, in bearish territory, which y'all had mentioned earlier as well, too. My question is then related to SPX, like it's looking like it's headed for that coming soon as well. So my question about that is when that eventually happens, I guess, number one, like when do you see that actually taking place, number one? And then number two, when that does eventually happen, how long do you predict that we will be in that bear market territory? How long will the market be down?
Great question. So let's talk like it's just you and I. Is a day time frame the first time frame that you look at?
I usually look at the weekly first, then I look at the daily.
Go higher.
Okay.
Go higher. Minimum month. But for those,
okay.
yes. So when he says cross, so like a death cross, like if a 50 goes through a 200, but what parent are you using together?
I'm using the EMA, so I'm using the 50 going underneath the 200 EMA.
Okay, great. That's the one Art started me with and works well. Put your, and I'm trying to make sure P and Dom don't kill me. Put your retracements over the 5 year. So if you look at SPX, so if that top is what, 48, 1852, I'm blind. I don't have my glasses on. It went through the 78.6, so that's almost a 25% drop. The next big area would be 50%, right? But I will mark off 35%. It could fall to there. If it does, how long will it take? It'll take about 2 years to go up from there. So as soon as the Russia thing eases up, we'll be fine. When they get into talks and you see that begin to slow down, that'll be fine. That'll be the first signal that the market is going to go back to normal. They are going to try to extend this thing out to get Biden out of office. I'm going to say it one more time. I think, what's Rotimi name in power? Dre,
yeah.
Yeah.
China, that's Canaan. So let me ask you guys a question. Is Canaan a bad guy or is Ghost a bad guy? Because it depends on whose story you're looking at. You can say Putin's a bad guy, but if you look, since he's been in KGB, he's had territory that's been taken away from him. So if your territory was taken, you tried to get it back, are you a bad guy or not? To my father, I'm not. I promise you I'm not going down this lane. So Putin is the proxy. That's Dre to go mess with Ghost. Biden is Ghost, right? Then when that diversion is there, then Canaan can come in. China can come in and do what they need to do. So we're going to have a macro dead cat bounce, but at some point, we are going to have to look, and probably 24, we're going to have a serious recession. Because if we look at how much debt, everybody put in chat, how much debt does the United States of America have in total?
Calculated pretty big.
So when everyone's like, yo, debt is good, man, screw Ian talking about, you don't want the discipline. You want to get a Bentley right now like me that I'm paying $2,900 a month for. And then now if the notes get called and then you were only doing options, you guys, and I'm not railing on anybody because in all fairness, like one of the things I wanted to improve upon is just making sure I make you guys the most money and not even focus on any competition, right? But all those who were talking about the easy plays are not guiding you guys through this now. Everybody can talk when the market is to the upside. When it's really wartime, like who's going to be in your corner? I'll say that to say, please be mindful to mark off the areas. If it falls off 35%, that's where you want to buy in. Then 50%. When the China and Russia thing eases up, then we'll go back up to the upside and we'll be good. And then they're going to try and get Biden out of office. But you have to look at the long macro picture. And I'll say this for all my traders too. Keep your 15 or 200, because that's the one I got started with what Art told me, and I was dumb and didn't listen and I changed it. But the indicator doesn't matter. Go back and listen to what Jess was saying and Stock Club call. Everybody put yes in chat. When Jessica and I were talking, we didn't plan that last week. We had the same talking points about how to trade, how to look. Start with the highest time frame first. So for those of you that are traders, right? You need to go, if you can, go look at the Dow or even an economy, the United States economy. You can see the double bottoms in our economy and double tops. For those of you that like to trade those patterns. Also, too, if you look at the American economy over a 100-year period and China over a 100-year period, you can put Fibonacci retracements over the economic growth cycles and then know when we're going to fall. And also, if you listen to the Benner cycle episode, it'll tell you the time we're going to hit a recession, and you can put Fibonacci retracements on those to tie in together to see when we're going to crash. The crystal ball is part God, and then the rest of it is work. But for a brother like you who really like is in it, because very few people talk about SPX. We're gonna bleed down a little bit, but when we do, you'll be well prepared. And then when we had that cross, and worst case scenario for SPX, we could go to 3203 if all hell breaks loose.
Ooh.
Okay.
You always have to prepare. So let me ask you guys this. Even my biggest fear on earth is that I won't be able to trade futures at a margin, or they'll take the price up so high, I'll never be able to trade it ever again. I tell P and Dom that all the time, Kayla that all the time. You have to make preparations. And my dad was like, you got to have an umbrella for a rainy day because you never know how long it may rain. When war and disaster comes, it's not going to last for 3 weeks or 6 months. Look at, take Dame Dash. As brilliant as Dame is, and I always say it, people say Dame is rude, brash, and arrogant, and then herald Gary Vee, and I love Gary. But Dame has been going through a war for 20 years, having a perspective.
I spoke to
and
him
he's
today
been
on FaceTime.
Right. But we'll tear him down and then say, "Oh my God, Gary's a genius." Shout out, Mike Boyd. I got to call you. I appreciate you. But you guys sometimes get so caught up in how the message is delivered, you miss the message for impact that's going to make you the most money. Just please be careful. Please be careful. It's a tricky game out here. And I'll say this, I'll wrap up. Even in media, when people are trying to dissuade you from listening to us, I don't have a problem with you dissuading from listening to us if they're making you more money. But a lot of times they want to dissuade because they know, you see the way Rashad looking happy and he glowing because his interview coming out tomorrow. Who knows what I may get to, right? I'm gonna interview the brothers. Who knows where in 2 or 3 years, Auntie Oprah, Auntie Gail may call us and may wanna. They're trying to stop that. So please be careful of the message and only focus on those that are going to make you money and have the greatest impact. Because everyone wants to talk, but not everyone in the space is going to be able to make you money. So please be careful. There's a game inside of a game in this, for real. That's it.
Talking it, but ain't living.
That's a fact. Ian, those dead cat bounces are interesting. I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people will see, the market go up. Like I think on Wednesday it went up, and then they'll say, "Oh, market, everything's back to normal." And then obviously we see still of a downtrend. But these dead cat bounces,
yeah.
In terms of length, is it a 2-day, 3-day thing?
Ian
left the building.
He's left the chat.
I ran him. I
gotta take my hoodie off. I didn't want them to think I was getting my D'Angelo on real quick. It's hot with these lights on. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get back cute real quick. Hold on. It's just entertainment.
Yeah, because I'm looking. Yeah, I'm looking at obviously the Nasdaq. This guy's crazy. And obviously it's been down for the last 5 to 6 weeks, but every now and then it'll have that little dead cat bounce where all right, it pops up and then obviously comes back down. But could we see when does it classify as not?
I promise Stock Club, I wouldn't say it.
Okay,
but I'll say if we get to 10 weeks where all indexes have been down, that's when I'll start to get worried.
We're in 5 weeks right now.
We're going on 6.
Yeah, it's 10 weeks. Definitely coming.
And I told you guys before, hey, it's gonna fall. You didn't think it. Great. Now, if you lost a lot of money trading options, and I'm gonna say this, man, anyone who's mad at me, you deviated from the plan. Everyone put in chat, what is the drawdown of Apple and Microsoft right now? Safety first. It does not matter how much money you make if you don't play defense. If you have $2 million in this cup and somebody comes steal it from you, what good was the $2 million? Nothing. You gotta play defense.
Safety first, extremely important. And that's one thing I was talking to Josh, and I was like, I'm like, yeah, of course, the thing with selling options is that if it goes back up, then you lose money. And he was because the opportunity cost. He was like, look, you already have money. Like it's not like you need this to live. You have money. He was like, what's more important, protecting the capital that you have or losing everything? Like,
and the truth is, like, if you lose a lot of money, people don't want to do business with you. That's the other part of the game. When I'm telling you guys to play defense, some of you are like, hey, I want to get careers. It's like, even if you want to go into investing, they're going to see your portfolio. You think you're going to get hired and you're down 88%?
Nope. You won't get hired. You get
fired.
Careful,
man.
Not going to happen.
You get fired. Let's get one more question if we can. A lot of keys in the chat. Looks like the people was ready for that.
High level conversations this Saturday, y'all.
Yes.
319. Stress the 19.
Heavy on the 19.
Heavy on that 19.
Hello, Sean. How are you?
Sean, what's up?
What's happening, everybody? How y'all doing?
We're good, man. How you?
Good. How you?
Good. I think I already know the answer to my question after listening tonight, but I'll ask anyways. I'm down in Neo, about 2,900. Got 2,800 left in it. Should I go ahead and just take the L and roll the rest into Microsoft or roll it into cash? What should I do?
What price did you get in for Neo?
I started around, I don't even have it written down, but and Vanguard doesn't show like average price per share for some reason when I log in.
Give me a rough of where. 40, 42.
Yeah.
Okay. You
how,
got
much how much did he say he was down? No, you probably didn't get down. He's down 26%. How much? How much?
At 2,900.
You
2,900.
Yeah.
Neo's at $14.
Do you know your percentage that you're down?
Let me.
I will say I wouldn't sell it now, but
okay.
What was the fundamental reason that you invested in it?
It's like almost 60%.
Just hoping that it would run up and then I could get out.
Hope only works for Obama, man.
Hope.
Being real.
Shout out to yes. Yep. Didn't work.
Being real. So if it gets back to maybe 1958, I would take a little bit of profit off. And then whenever I'm comparing any company, I'm literally like, hey, what makes them better than the top 5? If I can't have a clean answer within 30 seconds, I can't do it. I can't do it. So
yeah.
Appreciate that, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Sean.
Take care.
And I appreciate your honesty and your openness, because that's not easy to do in a public forum.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. Let me look on a weekly.
But I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it got down to 14.
What, Neo?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that's causing people pain right now in the market. A lot. Facebook.
Yeah.
Painful.
Painful.
Square has been painful.
Square. Yeah.
Get out of here though.
Coinbase.
My draft
brokers are never good.
My DraftKings is down at $14, yo.
Yeah, DraftKings is
14.
Yeah.
I don't want to be facetious, but how about the best companies that have the most revenue and best net profit actually float up the most, and the ones that don't float to the bottom? Yeah, Tilray, another one. I don't see anyone talking about CNN. Like, for real, if we're going to be real, we're in a global house of cards right now. In the entire world, there may be 20 great companies. Because truth be told, if there were more, you wouldn't need indexes. That's the part when you guys are not doing your research. Why I'm big on indexing, it is a safety. That is a mode in itself. Why do you need an index? Because there's not enough quality. Name me 40 great American companies right now in the stock market. Can't do it.
Tell them that.
I'm gonna post it.
Mention it.
Yeah. Yo, so obviously I said my DraftKings because obviously I have shares in DraftKings, but the CEO said that anyone selling this company stock will regret the decision more than any other decision they've ever made in their life. Ever. Keyword. In your life.
Yes.
That sounds good.
Interesting take.
I was just talking about this. Like, it's like saying with Kanye, when Kanye telling like, yo, when I see Pete, I'ma beat him up. I'ma kill him. Like, bro, you really don't want Kim. You should have came with that chopper if you really wanted.
Pete took it there yesterday. No, he took it there yesterday. He took it there.
It was called for.
What do you do?
He said, "Well,
claim to be a player,
I'm
but
in bed with your wife." Like,
no.
He took it too far.
That's never called for.
He said, "I'm in bed with your wife."
But I'm saying,
hey, with the picture though.
Instead of picture,
Kanye been going crazy
on
for 3 months.
He put the whole combo up there.
Had it been me, the thing, it would have been on the ground.
He put it on his Instagram.
The whole conversation he put up on Instagram. Yeah.
I would have put the whole mixtape out.
Yeah. He went too far.
Kanye, man, can't go against Kanye.
You think I'm crazy now, boy?
Can't go against Kanye.
Yeah. I'm not right.
Shotty got great media training. He won't even acknowledge my craziness. Mike, Nikki, clip this up.
Shout out to Nick.
Oh man.
This is just entertainment. Yeah, I love you. Promise. I appreciate you.
Easy. All
Yeah,
right.
Shout out to Ski.
Want to do one more or you want to wrap it?
Ski's not a diss. That's a compliment. Like, ladies, let me ask you a question. How long does a man have to actualize potential before you let him go in a relationship?
They got to put a number in though. They got to put like a number of months.
Put a number in. This is why women make the best investors. Yeah.
Let's see what they got.
That number also tells you how long you should hold on to a bad company.
3 months.
Oh, they lying.
90 days.
They lying.
Y'all lying with the
6
shout out
months.
Steve Harvey. Y'all lying with the 90 days though.
Come on, man.
I can tag some of y'all. I'll put through 90 days of hell. Don't
wait on
I'm
it.
better now.
90-day fiance.
Hashtag wait on it.
It's a cold game out here. Oh man, 6 months.
Oh my God.
Damn,
Kanye, man.
It's tough.
Not
out here.
90 day. I
Hold your
want
head.
to play volleyball. Yo.
Yo, Scott. Yo, man.
Hold your head. Yeezy.
That's a
Easy,
fact.
easy.
That's a fact. Listen, man. This Thursday, South by Southwest.
South by Southwest.
Earn your leisure. Ally United Masses, man. While we're talking about Ally, let me tell you about this company, man. They're the leading digital financial service company with passionate customer service, innovative financial solutions, and our relentlessly focus on doing it right for both customers and our community. So get with Ally so you can save, invest, and spend on the things that matter most to you for everything we need. We'll order all better with an Ally. They will be in the building. We will be in the building. The master investor will be in the building. Wall Street Trapper will be in the building. Our brother John Henry will be in the building. EYL alum, my man Buster will be. Buster, you want to talk about a prodigy?
He's the first person that we had on the platform that was talking about NFTs on our platform.
We didn't even know what OpenSea was before he said it.
Buster.
He will be in the building. Bun B will be in the building. The trillest of all. And our boy
Toby Wigway
will be in the building.
Both of them are great business.
I can't wait to watch.
Can't wait.
Well,
Hey,
it's
he
also
was
it's about
at the rodeo. Did you see the performance?
Toby.
Yeah.
No,
At the
I
my
saw
gosh.
whatchamacallit perform. What is the rodeo? I'm not
The biggest.
That's the
If you
biggest,
saw the
like,
movie
thing in
Selena,
Texas.
that's
but what is it? An actual rodeo or they just
yeah,
like
no,
with bulls?
it's actually rodeo.
Like with bulls,
Mm-hmm.
and they ride the bulls.
Hey,
That's what a rodeo do.
I just all I said was hey.
Big vibe. Everybody in
That's what a rodeo
Houston,
is.
Austin, Dallas. If you've been to the rodeo,
Yeah.
NRG.
It holds like they you can have like 90,000.
I'm about to go
there,
about
right?
6-7 days. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's a concert mixed in
concert.
there?
Yeah.
Mixed in between.
He toured at the end.
Family stuff during the
Yeah.
day. Then at night, that's the joint Cardi did a couple years ago when she sold it out.
Yeah, she went crazy.
Cardi who? Cardi B?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. She broke the record,
His
like,
wife.
18.
It might have been a freestyle. Maybe it's part of the song, but Toby's wife got on stage and did a little set. Killed it. If y'all ain't go check his Instagram out.
Yeah.
She lit it up.
Shout out to
But
Houston.
that's dope that he was there.
So yeah, if I can just talk about this South by Southwest situation for a minute, because I don't want it to be overlooked. It's like we've curated a vibe for this financial literacy space, and sometimes when things happen and they happen in a very short period of time, a very quick period of time, it's kind of like overlooked, and people might not even fully appreciate it. But what we've been able to do is like all of these events been going on for years, and Art Basel. Nobody was really thinking about having, financial literacy guys at Art Basel and making them, the rock stars and putting them on platforms. And that's what we was able to do. South by Southwest has been going on for years. And, there's tech entrepreneurs that speak, but the people in our community, they didn't have a platform. They didn't have a voice. So that's what we're actually doing. It's curating some opportunities for that. Breakfast Club, bringing 19 keys up to the Breakfast Club.
Classic performance.
It's one of these things that, we've been blessed with a platform. And I think one of the best things that has come out of our platform is us actually being able to give opportunities to other people.
Yeah.
To, highlight them at the highest, very high level stages.
Yeah. Ian Dunlap at the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Triple
Classic
platinum.
performance.
Yeah.
Triple platinum.
So, it's one of these things, like I said, just, gotta just keep in mind what's going on here, because it's like, when history isn't documented, it kind of gets, distorted. So it's a historical moment, and this is just the beginning. Like, we got a bunch of other big stages, but it's a win, another win for financial literacy, another win for the coach, another win for the world. And we're not just winning by ourselves. Like, when we win, everybody else wins. And that's something I don't think even people might not even think about that, because it's just happening so quick. It's like, oh, you just, it's not easy to just put this together, Art Basel and South by Southwest and different things like that. And bringing our friends with us and giving opportunities to people. So be mindful.
Yeah. Those of you who want the opportunity, one of my favorite quotes from Steve Martin is, "Be so good that they cannot ignore you." That is the foundation of it. Every business, every brand that you love, they are so great. Lamborghini, Mercedes, Apple, Microsoft, like, be so great that you cannot be denied. That is a blueprint, and you'll get there by mastering one thing. Anybody tells you anything else, they're lying.
There's a lot of I guess people in the comments have been inquiring about you. Are you single?
What? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Listen, people be hitting me, and I'll tell them,
becoming a distraction. It's actually becoming a distraction.
Send me your credit score.
Yo,
send me the last 2 people you dated. If I send anybody to Janet,
credit scores first.
I actually don't read comments while we're on here because I don't like to get distracted. So
you're smart.
They could I'm just like, we could just end this right now, like, because it's just going in a direction where it's like,
yo,
that might be a new show on EYO Network. The Bachelorette. Bachelorette.
There you go. Another show.
I don't know what to say. Please don't blow up my DMs.
DMs are now in shambles starting in 3 seconds.
I mean, let's make it
shambles.
Let's make some content around this.
Yeah.
If we go and do anything, we might as well make some content.
Oh man, I like this. I like this. I like
long walks on the beach. No, I'm just kidding.
I like trips to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Trips to Hawaii, right?
I enjoy trips to Hawaii.
Somebody said EYO Tinder.
Oh, I can't wait till y'all have y'all little investors, babies. What y'all naming them?
Yo, yeah, what's up? Well, I know there gotta be something like that's due soon, right?
Oh man, Invest Fest babies.
I saw a few note taking. Went to the club, boy. Y'all was in the hey baby, boy. Some of y'all was in that thirsty.
Or
who, like the EYL guys?
No,
What?
I thought that's what he was saying.
Cut her mic off. Cut her mic off.
Somebody mute her.
Cut her mic off.
But listen, that 5-round knockout, that would have been great content.
5-round knockout.
We almost had to call the Palace, Buckingham Palace security with the girl fight.
Let him go.
Boy, I knew the boy was a star, but damn.
Shout out to London, man.
So, this is just entertainment.
Big vibes.
Yo, yeah. Shout out to everybody in London. Shout out to everybody in London.
We had a webinar. We had the webinar
today, man. That was incredible.
For everybody that couldn't get into the vibe. So over 500 people was on there. Shout out to Stock Pickers Academy. Shout out to Mortgage Guy Seb and MG the Mortgage Guy.
Yeah, Sebastian the Mortgage
Guy.
I
learned a lot. I learned a lot about the UK regulations, the UK tax laws, UK.
I got notes.
Investing. I learned a lot. It's a lot different than what I thought. They have a lot of different.
They have some differences and they have a lot of similarities, which is very interesting, man. Because it's just like, damn, like the two gentlemen that presented it were just so knowledgeable. It was like a lot of people like, this is the best Zoom I've ever been on, and we had scheduled it to be like an hour and a half. We actually ran like almost 2.5 hours just because it was so much information. So yeah, shout out to everybody who's watching in London right now, who was at the webinar earlier today. They did a double header with us, man. We appreciate the love. It was incredible. I learned a lot. I can't wait to go back.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely good. Homework for you guys on that. Give me the 5 best stocks in the FTSE for next week. I want to know.
The FTSE
100.
FTSE 100.
I had that in my notes.
Study every market.
The FTSE 100. That's a fact.
Market Mondays live. Houston, Texas. August 23rd.
April
23rd. If you buy a ticket, you will be included a 1-year access to Stock Club, which includes weekly calls with Ian and Stock Club members, 1-year access to Sniper Trading Program, and 1 60-minute Q&A session with Ian on stocks, investing, trading, and how Red Panda students made $50,000 to $130,000. This event will sell out. Do not play yourself. Houston, Texas. This is going to be something that will be talked about. Very similar to the rodeo show.
Yeah.
Very similar.
What after party?
We'll talk about that later on.
That's what they want to know.
What do you guys want me to teach you at Market Mondays Live? Because I put on the classic performance at Apollo.
How to make $1 million in one day.
How do I make $1 million by tomorrow?
I need $1 million by tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what they really want to know.
I mean, I've been giving that blueprint too. Everybody don't listen, but wait till the documentary come out.
I say futures, please.
Okay. Dream team be there.
Requesting.
Yeah.
Janet votes futures.
I see a few people putting in futures in there. Okay.
I've been giving y'all the blueprint. I just don't do it in a scam way. You know, how to make $77,000 per second, even though that person don't have 77,000. Okay. I get what you want. It's just entertainment. Trying to get this juice squirrel. Yeah.
Are you not entertained?
That's all.
Are you not entertained? That is the question of the night. The merch sale is over in 2 hours. Rashad Troy 50 for 50% off
everything, right?
All merch. Shout out to Bam, who is the merch master.
Yeah, shout out to
him. He does a great job, actually. It's amazing.
Nah, Vincent, well, he changed his thing now, so it comes up as Vincent. So shout out to Vincent. He actually sent some stuff up from my son's teacher. I had parent teacher conference, and she was like, he keeps wearing that shirt. I want one. So he sent one up. So shout out to him.
Moving merch. The merch is so heavy in the streets right now. Heavy in the streets.
In a store near you, soon come. Soon come.
It's called Brick and Mortar.
Thou shalt not show thine hand, sir. Keep it in refined quarters, see?
Yo,
I can't wear my merch in Rhode Island anymore. I don't want to get spotted.
Oh, yeah. It was easier when you had the mask and the hoodie on. Nobody know who you was. Now it's over.
Shout out to my man Just Providence, the Prince of Providence.
That's a fact.
Yes.
Lord Dio. Shout out to my guy Dio out in the UK. He hit me up today, man. He said, yo, y'all left an impact. They got like a few people doing like
they haven't.
You saw it?
Yes.
Shout out to them though. It's love.
Fire, Mo. Yeah, how you think I feel? Everybody copy my shit and it's like, yo, be cool.
It's all love, man. As long as we spread an education.
It's all about inspiring. It's about inspiring, man. Shout out to the UK Massive. Love y'all so much, man.
We be back. I miss London. Feeling different though.
Shout out to all the Cape Verdeans out there. I haven't shout out my people in a while, so
yes. Shout out to all the Cape Verdeans. Yes.
That's what we got.
Well,
yo, Ian, real quick, who you got? I haven't been watching the college basketball, but who you got winning it all? It starts Thursday, so we don't have another chance to say who we're gonna take.
I'm gonna just say shout out to Indiana University. I haven't watched one lick of basketball.
Yeah, it was tough this year. Who you got?
Yeah, I ain't watched basketball in a minute, but North Carolina's always a good choice.
North Carolina.
They just beat Duke.
They lost in the ACC tournament though.
Someone said not Rhode Island in the chat.
Whoa! Don't do that, boss.
Don't get blocked.
Don't get blocked.
I'm
saying
got
block privileges. You know, I'm with the block party. You lucky I ain't see it.
Write this down. Arizona is going to win the national championship.
Arizona?
I'm taking Arizona.
Who's the number one draft? Who's the best kid in college this year?
It's tough, man. There's no real stars. That's the problem. It's like, I think Gonzaga's the number one seed overall. They got a few guys. But
shout out to everybody in Dykeman. I was up there for my son's basketball game this weekend, and so much love. Shout out to New York City, man. This was shout out to Jay Krulov. Shout out to Nick Storm. We went to the dope.
It was in Taj.
But before that, we was with what's the liquor brand? Jack Daniels. They had a dope vibe.
Can y'all get to the Raekwon thing?
Yeah. Jack Daniels curated a art show, and Raekwon was performing. So Raekwon's one of my favorites of all time. Purple Tape, one of the greatest albums of all time. So anytime I seen Ray perform a few times, I met him once before. So anytime I get to see Ray perform, I'm always there. So dope performance. And then, we met him backstage, chopped it up. Super dope energy, man. Just he actually remembered the last time that we met in Atlanta. So we was just chopping it up for a little bit. Super down to earth, cool dude. So shout out to Ray, man. Shout out to Ray.
That was incredible. And then if you know Jay Krulove, you know that's just the beginning of the night, because Krulove he's lights on. That means like whenever the party lights come on, that's when we leaving. And so you can't leave before then with Krulove.
But I'll say this: we was in the spot, and then we went to a club afterwards. And I went to my son's basketball game the next day. Like literally, that Raekwon vibe felt like an EYL networking party.
Mm-hmm.
At least 500 people came up to me. At least 500 people like, yo, Market Mondays, EYL, I love y'all, crypto, stocks, real estate. Like it was crazy. Like you would have thought it was our event. So New York City is back open, and we're gonna help accelerate the vibe. We have a number of things planned for
New York City,
the rebrand of New York, and we are going to play a major part in that. It's good to be out. It's good to feel the energy in New York. No place like New York, no place like home. So shout out to everybody in New York, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get it back. The year of the return, New York City edition.
That's what and
we're gonna make sure Kyrie play. We're gonna make sure Kyrie play.
It makes no sense that Kyrie Irving can attend a game, sit courtside with no mask
on. They got fined.
The
Nets got fined for letting him come in the locker room.
I mean, it just makes no sense that he can come to a game, sit courtside with no mask on, and can't play. Eric Adams, do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
I mean, they make you show the fake COVID card and put you in a bubble outside. That don't make sense either.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
For the restaurants.
Oh yeah. Yes. Not sure.
Mike Wilbon, very disappointed in him.
What you did?
Why?
He went off on Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant. You heard what Kevin Durant said? Kevin Durant pretty much said, "Well, we just said it makes no sense about."
Yeah, it doesn't.
Mike Wilbon was like, "Well, tell Kyrie to get a shot. Tell him to get." These guys is out of touch, man. It's unfortunate, but they're out of touch.
And I really like Michael Wilbon.
They're out of touch, and it's just the reality of it. And it's like, it just makes no sense. You're trying to force these people to get a COVID shot, which I can understand if that's the rule. But what's the point of letting somebody in a building, and then you got visiting players that can play that's not vaccinated? You got Aaron Rodgers, who he was an MVP, who's not vaccinated, who lied about getting vaccinated, and they still trying to crucify Kyrie Irving. It just makes no sense at this point in time. Just let them play. Let them play, man.
So the rules will open up for public facilities that you can enter, but you can't enter the private mandate is still there. And so since the Nets, I guess, are owned by private, like it's ridiculous. So like he can't go in the locker room, but he can be in the arena because now it's open to the public. And so it's like really stupid.
Let them play, man. Enough is enough.
He's too ill too.
Let them play.
It's really stupid.
Let them play.
Free Kyrie, like Bron said. All right, y'all.
And Market Mondays, go to the link, marketmondays.com to get your tickets.
Yeah, I'm never doing this offer again. That's not marketing talk.
By the way.
No, it's not. It's not going to happen ever again. And once again, it's a Live Nation venue. So you either have to have a COVID card to enter the building or a negative COVID test. Shouldn't be that hard to get either one, but just, be mindful. We're in the last days of COVID, but we're not officially over COVID yet. And, there's still some regulations that, come into play there, but it's not the end of the world.
Yo, Steve Harvey tomorrow.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, Steve Harvey.
That's a
Pulitzer Prize winner. Piece of journalism right there.
Yeah.
It's already leaking the blogs. I sneaked some footage. 85 South has footage.
I saw that.
Hip hop.
Well played. Strategic alliances. Yes. In order to run an empire, I told Stock Club this last week. In order to have an empire, you need enough allies to help you keep your kingdom.
Game of Thrones.
King's Landing.
Game of Thrones.
Welcome to King's Landing.
Yes. All right, guys.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Stock Club call 9:30. I'll put the link in Kajabi. Don't message Troy, Rashad, Janet.
Or Janet.
Thank you.
Or Janet.
9:30 Central.